Dun 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 dun. Hello and welcome to the Rasco and Disco Beer Show. I think that's what we call it. I'm not sure what we call it. Yeah, sorry, I just received a message. I'm actually getting a message from Disco now. And yes, I just responded to him. Because we're live. We're live. Yes. Here on the Rasco and Disco Beer Show. Right. How are you? You good? Good. Good. I'm glad you're good. Right. What have we got tonight? Well, we did have some plans, but we threw them out the window because we don't need plans. Yes. So, I've got some water. I've drunk my pre-show cup of tea for once. And, yeah. I'm going to tell you what the lineup for the London Craft Beer Festival. We've had our first news drop. I'm going to just analyse some beers. Don't have much on the go at the moment. And that's it. It'll probably be a short show tonight. That's what we say, but hey, it never really plans out, it never goes to plan. Drink logistics, hello, how are you doing? Oh, wave to you. I don't think we've ever met. Nice to meet you. And yes, Disco is going to be talking. We did have an idea to do some talking about rugby, but no, I haven't watched rugby, so I don't think we can do that. I just got to wait for Disco because, you know, he's running late. I'm waiting for Disco. Anyway, all right. I shall tell you the lineup so far. The news that was announced earlier for the London Craft Beer Festival. Right, they've announced the first set of breweries which will be there. And Disco. Hello, Disco. He wants to join the show. To my news. Ooh, it's looking good though. I'm looking forward to it. There's only 100 days to go. But yeah, it's Disco.
It's Rasco. How are we doing? So good evening. Happy Saturday night.
Happy Saturday evening to you too. Are you well, sir?
I'm as well as can be expected for this level of intensity of lockdown and months that it's been. Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I've got a beer, so it's all right.
That's the main thing. I have 3 beers, so there.
Good. So I'm drinking quite slowly tonight. To be fair, this is only my second beer, but don't know. Just a bit tired this week.
You always drink slowly.
Do you know what? I've been saying that over lockdown. That is a fact. I've slowed down because I don't really drink at home that much, and yeah, just sort of I'm doing other stuff, so I'm not chatting away like you are in a pub. So
you don't drink at home much apart from this, past 12 months.
This last year, but I haven't drunk. I don't drink heavily at home, and I still haven't, even though I'm at home. It's like it's just a bizarre thing, but. Never mind, these things happen. I mustn't grumble. Here we all are. What you got drinking? What you drinking there, Lester?
Well, I haven't had anything past my lips so far.
Okay.
I have from. Yes, it's them. Anspach and Hobday. I have the Imperial Baltic Porter at 9%.
ID.
And I also have from Anspach and Hobday the American Brown.
Yeah, the American. That was pretty good. All the stars in the American flag, they've used hops as the stars, haven't they, on the artwork?
Yes, yes, they have. Clever. And it's one of the few cans of theirs which doesn't have some of the teammates on the can. Some of them.
That's true.
Deviate.
Yeah, normally they put people who work there on the can, staff and that. Don't know, brewers and that.
Yeah. And I also have It's always have, always will, peach apricot raspberry sour by Pomona Island.
That's another Pomona Island one. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Sounds good on the fruit, but
yeah. Well, if you remember last week, they received a Beer of the Year nomination for a sour of theirs.
Yeah.
Which was a passion fruit mango sour, Imperial sour. Yes, Imperial sour. It was delicious. It was amazing, very enjoyable. So yeah, I'm going to get started. I don't know which one. Which one should I have first? What do you think?
I personally, well, myself, I would start with the sour. I will always start light, and then you've got the stout to build up on that. Or what's the American one again? Is the American one American Pale Ale? The Ansbach.
No, it's American. Well, American Brown.
Brown, yeah.
What is it?
Well, out of those, I would always.
Yeah, so it's a brown. It's at 5.2%. The sour is at 6.5%. So, so there you go.
Well, I don't know about you. Which way do you do it? I mean, I would always normally work pale to dark. So I'd normally have a sour in case I don't like it too much. You can cover the flavour with something darker. So of the three there, I'd go sour, brown ale, porter.
Yeah, I'm mostly having this due to the reputation of what Pomona Island did for me last week with the sour. Can they do it again? This is not an Imperial. It's got peach, apricot, and raspberry in it. Right, all right, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to start with that. Let's see how we go. Before you joined, I was about to say the one bits of news I do have. Don't worry, it's not about Harry or Meghan. Because that's... yeah. There are two people who left the job a year ago to stay out of the limelight, but seem to be in the limelight always. There you go.
Okay, well, if you're not talking about that, I'm off, mate. See ya.
Right.
Topical reference, topical reference, topical reference, topical reference.
There you go. So the London Craft Beer Festival of this year has announced its first lineup. And when I say lineup, I mean the first lot of breweries which will be involved out of 100 that will be involved.
Yeah.
Ben's Brews, hello, I'll wave to you as well. Okay, so who's going to be there? Arbor Ales, Braybrook Beer Co, Brew York. Oh, I've got a can of it upstairs. Brixton Brewery, now owned by Heineken fully. Dark Star, Dig Brew Co, Double Barreled, Duvel, Bell, Fierce Beer, and Foking Brew, Full Circle Brew Co.
Yeah, like Full Circle Brew Co. One of the ones I had from Northumberland. Really up and coming one. Almost on the one to watch list, I think, Full Circle.
Oh, yeah. Gypsy Hill Brew Co. Company. Glass House Beer Co. Hackney Church Brew Co.
Yeah, that's another one. That's another one that's sort of just quietly doing stuff in up in North East London there. I've got to look out for them.
I'm going to struggle with this one. Boric Jizz Keys. Never mind. Sorry, I apologise for that one.
You know that one. That's the one we struggled to pronounce. It's the Dutch brewery. So the first bit is just brewery in Dutch, Brewery Keys. Right. And that's the one we had at Pig's Ear, the 14% one. We couldn't pronounce it then. But yeah, I've since found out that just means brewery keys.
Fair enough.
I still can't pronounce how they pronounce brewery.
Yes, I'll make that my task. I've got 150 days to get it right. The Colonel, Ledvik, Lost and Grounded,
Ooh.
Mars Brewer, German. It even says the ones from other countries. It actually gives brackets of where they're from. Malt Garden from Poland.
Yeah.
Mikela from Denmark. Mondo Brewing Co.
Mondo, yep.
Brewing from Sweden. Nerd Brewing from Sweden. North Brewing Co. Northern Monk Brew Co. I think I've heard of them.
It was both of these, yep.
Orbit Beers Partisan.
Wow, I've heard that name for a while, Partisan.
Yeah. Vislop, Pomora Island.
Island.
Salt Beer Factory.
Wow, okay.
Signature Brew. The Social Brew Collective. Stone and Wood. Tempest Brewing Co. Turning Point.
Turning Point. I just ordered from Turning Point this weekend.
Oh yeah. Unit Brewing Co. And the next few, we're all well. If you're not aware of the next few, I don't know where you've been. Verdant, Vocational, Wildcard, and Wiper and True.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if I go, I think I'll be having a look at Verdant because I haven't so far. It might be more fun to check them out on the bar rather than cans and stuff. Wiper and True, I've had a couple of Wiper and True. Bristol Brewery, they do a good milk stout. We've had their milk stout a fair bit.
Good plum drink as well. Usually released at Christmas time.
Yeah, they
plum porter drink.
Yeah, we had that. We had that on our Christmas video like the other year, didn't we? It was like it's like a Christmas cake kind of version of the stout.
Yeah.
Yeah, Turning Point this week. So they brought one out this week, and I've seen it before, and I never got a chance to get it last year. They've brought out a series of custard beers, which is always going to pique my interest. But there's 2 ale ales. So they brought out the original one they did was Yellow Matter Custard, which was I think is it a rhubarb and custard pale ale, but they also had one dark matter custard, which was like a chocolate and custard, like chocolate and vanilla, basically. And they've also got another one in there, which has got like raspberry and custard. And they did it quite good in a quite good value in a set of 6. So I got them in, but I also got a couple of their 10% Imperial stouts. Whereas a peanut butter Imperial stout I've been looking at, and I think a salted caramel Imperial stout. I got them in. But yeah, we love a bit of Turning Point from Knaresborough in Yorkshire. Obviously, we're quite heavy on Yorkshire beers. I haven't done any Yorkshire beers today. What are you going to do it on the show? I've just taken a while to drink it. I have done it before. It's from Flathead Brewery, which are only just about in Yorkshire. They're in Mexborough. And that's the last of the series they did. This one's called When Will This End? But to answer that question, it's now, because they did a series with a chocolate stout, a coconut stout, and a raspberry chocolate and coconut stout. And the other one was called 260 Miles to Barnard Castle and Coming Bones. And this one's called When Will It End, with all of them in it. And do you know what, actually, when I tried it last year, I wasn't so keen. It was quite thin and the flavours weren't that developed. it's actually much better now. I've left it for 6 months.
Wow.
The flavours taste much more developed. They stay a bit more, and I can actually taste the coconut more. I'm actually enjoying it more this time around, which is odd. Paul's beer reviews. Hi there.
Yes.
Good to see you. Was chatting on his live stream earlier in the Lowell pub from this afternoon, Saturday afternoon stream. Yeah, so Rasco's got a Pomona Island on the go. I've got a Flathead Brewery from Yorkshire. Raspberry chocolate coconut.
I've got always have, always will. Sorry, there appears to be some disturbance on my street. I can hear a loud reversing light going off. I wonder what's going on. Never mind. I won't. Oh, hello, Anspatch. Oh, I've got quite a few of the pigeon. Hello, I've got quite a few of your beers.
We was literally just talking about Anspatch. Rasco's got a couple of beers ready to go there.
Would you like to confirm? Are you going to be at the London
room, Rasco?
Sorry?
What? Somebody's trying to reverse a 7.5-ton truck into your living room, Rasco. I can hear it from here,
Yes.
like the beeping.
Yeah, I was just saying that I'm getting quite distracted and wondering what the hell is going on.
Paul review says that Pomona Island one looked like caramel being poured. Show us the colour of it again, Rasco.
Yes.
Show us the colour. It's kind of orangey now, isn't it, on how it's come out?
It is. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to say, the pigeon, would you like to confirm Anspatch and Hopstead will be at the London Craft Beer Festival? Can you confirm? Can you confirm? Hey, I'm just trying to get a scoop. I'm just trying to sound and look professional. Don't worry about me.
For the next round of announcements for that one, Rasco.
Yeah, okay. It's very sweet in aroma. It is. You can get the apricot and raspberry right off there. Maybe a hint of peach.
Okay.
It's nice. It's not as good as the last week's one initially, but it's very tasteful. It's definitely more sour traditional taste, but it's not that kind of oppressive feel to it in taste, which I'm not too keen on for sours. I can drink this. I could drink this a lot. This might be converting me to sours. I could be converted.
You've had quite a few sours recently. It's not really your favourite style, but you've had quite a few recently, like that you've sort of considered sours a bit more.
This would be my second.
No, I'm sure you've had more than that.
But yeah, I'm so far really enjoying this. I keep looking up my window to make sure nothing's going to smash through it. It's got
to go through your front wall first and get through your garden, but I know it's not a big garden, but I think it's stopped now, so you should be okay.
Yeah. So, Paul, what are you drinking? Pigeon, what are you drinking, if you're still there? Anyone, what are you drinking? Yes. No, really enjoying this. Love the colour of it. Most of the carbonation is dissipated. Yeah, getting slowly but surely. Pomona Island is converting me to sours. Good stuff. Okay. Not going to get a Beer of the Year nomination at this rate, but very good. Very good buy. A good purchase from my local Freshfield.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
So yeah, that's. Oh God, yeah, that's really nice. You get all the fruit that's listed here. A lot of peach, a lot of apricot. Raspberry was present in the first few sips, not so much now, but hey, there's still more to come. Oh, delish.
Paul's going on the Hotbed by Dark Star.
Mm-hmm.
A beer that I have. It's not on my all-time disliked beers, but it's one I love to hate because I just don't like the hoppiness of it. Even on cask, even on the bar. But I do love Dark Star. I love their dark stuff, ironically. But yeah, Hotbed is a classic, really, isn't it? It's probably it is their flagship beer, I guess. So yeah, I do love a bit of Dark Star now and again. I do love their darker stuff.
Owned by Fuller's, I believe.
Well, they are owned by Fuller's, but yeah, I'm not sure how independent they are, especially now with the Fuller's takeover. But you can order direct from Dark Star. I've very nearly got their creme brulee over Christmas because I do like that, but I haven't done it before. I left it alone because they put it in the cans now. You can order direct from Dark Star.
I believe the operation was moved into West London, which they promised wouldn't happen, but did.
Hey, Gregory, thanks for looking in. Local lad to meet. Lots of photographs from M Beers in the local area on Instagram.
Indeed. Yeah.
We will catch up on the other side, hopefully.
Yes, one day. But yeah, if that's the lineup of something what we're going to expect from the London Craft Beer Festival, it's looking pretty good. I've got to say, I'm quite excited. I'm glad I've got the all-weekender ticket now.
Yeah, I still haven't dived in because I looked at that, and although that £1 thing is a really good deposit scheme for it, I still haven't. I can't go for the full weekender at this stage due to circumstances. I think probably, if anything, I'll probably do the Saturday. As long as I can get in before that £1 thing finishes, maybe I'll just do the Saturday one, but I know I can still cancel up until 2 weeks, so I've still got to look at that. I think I just bung the quid in and go for the Saturday one, and maybe even just, like, if I can do the Friday nearer the time, just pay the money nearer the time, you know. The Dark Star is incredibly hoppy at 3.8%. It is. That's my main problem. But yeah, if you enjoy hoppy beers, that is a classic hoppy pale ale to go for, isn't it? Really.
Also on the news, the Harp announced it would be opening in May time. They announced that on Twitter. I thought that was good news considering. They've really struggled, like every other pub, but they really struggled because they only managed to open up at September time last year, and then only to be closed for 2 months later. And then the Harp is a great little pub. A lot of hophead is actually found in the Harp. I'm glad you mentioned that. I would have forgotten about this news. It is a Fuller's pub.
And the other one from Dark Star as well. I forget it now, but yeah, you do see quite a lot of hophead in the Harp. But they haven't really got a beer garden. There's always a lot of people outside in the alleyway next door, which is a covered alleyway, so it's all right for standing. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. But then there are quite a lot of Fuller's pubs that have got beer gardens that will be opening in April, aren't there? So
yeah, there is rumours bouncing around that there is a loophole being exposed to open up on April time. I don't know what that is, but more on that when we hear more. We wait in anticipation to see what's going to happen in a month's time. What other news? The Cask, I was about to call them the Cask Beer Channel, but for one night they will be.
Yeah.
The Craft Beer Channel are doing a Cask Beer Night, starting at 6 p.m, calling it a beer festival and going on till late. You can buy some cask beer made from 5 Points and do a drink along with them. I am slowly but surely leaning towards making that purchase because they just said cask.
Can you get the mini cask, the 5 litre mini cask?
Yes.
Cool. I don't think I will. Which one are you going to get? Because there's 3 options. You've got the railway porter and you've got the best. I can't remember what the third option is off the top of my head, but which one will you go for?
I'm probably going to go with the railway if it's available.
I mean, the best is probably the next best one, but yeah, definitely, I would go for the railway porter. I might try and pick up a couple of bottles somewhere along the way. All right, Brandon, thanks for popping in. Good to see you.
Hello. Yeah, so we're a bit more cask lovers. I'm going to be as involved in that as much as I can. I'm waiting an email from Johnny and Brad to join in the show. Maybe it's got held up, and but they're probably conscious of the fact that we have our own show on Saturday, so they probably don't want to invite us because they know we've got our own show.
We are trying to be the official hashtag after party for that gig, so we'll they'll give us a shout out and everybody can come over here for a few beers afterwards, isn't it?
Hopefully. So if you love cask and you want to support cask, get involved. There's gonna it's looking good. I'll talk about it next week when we get a little bit closer to it. All I can say is support cask. Yes, which is suffering. That's, I think, all the news I've got.
Okay, well, I'm gonna crack open another can.
Good on you.
And I'm looking forward to this one because can you tell what it is yet?
No, I can't.
No, not even with that. Not even with that can out.
I've got the back label. Oh, Mad Squirrel.
Yeah, good shouts. Yes, Mad Squirrel is the latest one in the series of the Della series, the Milk Stout, Stella Whip Walnut Milk Stout. I haven't actually been able to find, because I've been down a big supermarket in a couple of weeks, to actually find any walnut whips. So I've got another can, so I'll probably do the photos of it when I can get down there and find. Do you remember walnut whips, the little pyramid chocolate thing with the fondant inside and the walnut on top? I used to love that as a kid. So yeah, when I saw they put that on, I love Mad Squirrel. I love these cans. They've got this really rough kind of edge on the artwork, the rough surface, and really like simply and well designed, but kind of bright colours. All the information you want. You got the logo, you got the beer stuff, and really good colours on the can. And we've had the Della Whip, the Della Nut, which is a hazelnut version, and this is the newest one, nut version. I'm not expecting a massive amount of walnuts because they can be quite kind of walnuts don't have a massive amount of taste. They're just kind of a vaguely kind of roasty, kind of nutty kind of flavour. So I'm looking forward to this one, the beer, because I know it's going to be good. Because look at that head, look, nice creamy thick head on it. Nice jet black body that we see on the Della series. It's a shame that Paul's gone, because Paul's beer reviews, I think Paul is actually in nearby Hemel Hempstead, which is where this is brewed, where Mad Squirrel are. And I know he did a Mad Squirrel one the other day, so he gets quite a lot of Mad Squirrel stuff. So if you see any more of this afterwards, cheers, Paul. But it's got a lovely, rich smell on it, as all the Della series do. The milk stouts, little bit of nuttiness.
Okay.
Yeah, can't particularly get walnut off the first taste. There's just that kind of background nuttiness. But it's slightly different, slightly rougher than the Della nut and the Della creme. So it's walnut's a slightly rougher kind of nut, I suppose, in mouthfeel and taste. It's Mad Squirrel milk stout. It's absolutely brilliant. It's a good milk stout with a slight nuttiness to it. Really drinkable, quite sweet.
Fair enough.
It's slightly different to the other two. I've got the Imperial version is in there as well to try the Bustler nut, which I think is 9% version of Della nut. That's just really Mad Squirrel quality. I don't think it'll be this year, but next year I still want to do the Mad Squirrel run where we dash around all of the 6 Mad Squirrel tap rooms in a day, having a pint in each. They're all across Hertfordshire, so it's a little bit difficult it's a little bit more difficult than doing it in London, where you can just jump on a bus. But the other plan for next summer is, probably won't do this summer, is Big Smoke Brew own a load of pubs, and obviously the one in London that we went to, Big Smoke. But I think they before lockdown they opened another one down in like Hampshire, so it's like a big run out from Hampshire into central London. I think it's 6 pubs. I've been in a couple of them, but I want to do that one as well. I love doing these like random things of just like ticking off a list kind of thing. So I want to do the Mad Squirrel Run. Maybe we probably could squeeze that in late summer if everything's open again in July, August. Maybe my birthday in July.
Ooh, not bad one. Not bad shout.
A little seed of hope of something that we might be able to do in the summer, do you know?
Indeed. If you do go to the London Craft Beer Festival, you're saying you're going to go to Saturday. Are you going to go the afternoon or the evening?
Oh, probably the evening. The only reason I say that is because at this stage, between whatever's opening up and financials, it would be difficult for me to commit to the whole weekend. Like even if GBBF was running this year, I would have difficulty at this stage committing to the whole 5 days like I did the year before. Do you know what I mean? So, and because of the higher costs of craft beer festival, even though it's justified because you get all your beers in, most of your beers in with that price, until I can get some work in over the summer, I can't really afford it. So yeah, it's a good deal on a ticket price, but I can't say yet that I can definitely do it. But if I did, I would imagine, subject to football maybe, I would imagine I would do the Saturday evening. But if I commit to that now, I'm going to commit to the Saturday evening. And if I can say do the Friday evening and I can get a ticket closer to the time, I'll take the money, I'll take the price, do you know what I mean? Whatever it is. Because obviously if you book it early, you're paying a better price. But yeah, I'll see how it goes basically. That's all I can. And also don't forget there will be, if October and we're all back open again and everything's safe and that, there will be other beer festivals to go to. And I'll just probably book that one for next year, and who knows what's going to happen. That's going to be fair, and fair play to you for actually booking it and saying I'm going to do it. But if I don't go, hopefully you'll be able to meet up with Craig from Kent Beer Reviews, maybe Jaco Beer, and there'll be somebody there to chat to. And don't forget, if we're doing lives by then, we can do like a live link. I'll be over here somewhere or a pub or something. We could maybe do a live link from it. Do you know what I mean? It's doable, isn't it?
But there's a lot of options. As I said last week, I mostly brought the weekend ticket because I don't know what my life's going to be like by that point. So I've got the freedom to go as much as I want when I want. I can even go there, come back, and then go back. That's what's appealed to me. I want to go minimum twice. For a festival that large, you have to go more than once. I'm not going to kid myself by saying I'm going to drink from every single 100 all 100 breweries there.
I love a list, but I don't think you could go around and tick off a beer from every brewery, even in the 3 days. It wouldn't be possible. The numbers of it.
No.
Beers you want to try when you see the beer list come out, and if it definitely goes ahead, they've still got time to brew a specific beer or make sure they've got beers that they're actual mainstay beers of all the breweries. So, and there's a lot of other breweries coming out. So yeah, fair play.
Yeah, it's still more to be announced. We're going to be building up to that as it gets closer to the time. But like I said, there's 150 days to go, so it is a long way away at this point.
Yeah, one of them, aren't you? You are counting down every day.
Yeah, I am. This time next week will be 142 or 43 days ago. But there you go. I'm hyped. It's a beer festival. It's likely to be. It will be a year and a half almost at that point since I went to a beer festival.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that, but hey, that's how we're all feeling. I suspect it is going to sell out though, because as I said last week, GBBF isn't happening, so people are going to crowd into that.
People want to go to beer festivals. They're just gagging to get out for a beer festival, as we are. Do you know?
Yeah, it's done by the company called We Are Beer. They've got their first music festival, beer festival, going on this summer. They're going ahead with that. I've got to say, these guys are very ambitious. You know, they've got a Birmingham festival because they're calling that the Central Beer Festival. They got one in Bristol and Edinburgh, and last year they ran the Edinburgh and Bristol Festival. They did plan to do the London one in November, but it didn't happen. They're very ambitious guys, and take what you want, whether you want to go or not. I assume by that in August there probably will be still some COVID measures in place. Yeah. So God knows what that's going to be like. I don't want to go too much into it because
we should see as the numbers pan out, as the situation pans out. Which is, I mean, this year is pretty much a write-off, but later in that end of the year, something's going to happen. So we shall see as it goes, basically.
Yeah. Yes, we just have to wait until the 21st of June, off your head by noonday.
I'm not even doing the April one.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. There's no point, because whilst I trust all the venues to be absolutely safe and blah, 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 still don't trust the people, or some of the people. Do you know what I mean? You and me, we as grand, like we do all the social distancing measures. So, but yeah, I'm just sitting out, mate, sitting out.
I'll pop along to a few of my locals to say hello come April if I can. You know, just to lend a bit of my support. I will be a freelancer by then, so I won't be lending too much support. I'll be seeing how things go. So I'll see how things go. But then again, I'll have the luxury of time. So we'll see.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yes, looking forward to that. That lineup of breweries is impressive. I'm drawing up who I want to see already. Mikella is something I want to get to know. Now they have a bar in London which is on my hit list.
Yeah, I went to it. It's down the bottom of. Do you know where it is? It's round the corner from that club we went to with Jim the night of the Funky Walnuts.
I was not there.
Yeah, you was. Was that just me and Jim? No, you was definitely there. You was definitely there, because it was me and Jim that went to find the gherkin afterwards, and you told us where it was, and then we lost the directions. That was the three of us. The following day. I swear
you know exactly
you was
where I was, mate. I know exactly where I was that night. I was in a flat in South Harrow with my mate at the time. I know the night you speak of. We went down to Plymouth the next day, but yes, I did not go with you.
I swear you was there, but that's how good a night it was. I only remember like three things about the night. I remember walking up the road. I remember the Funky Walnuts, and I remember trying to find the Gherkin building on the way home, and it took us like 3 hours to find the Gherkin building. And then having to go to Plymouth the following morning. I swear you was there. I can swear you was there, man. But anyway, so the bottom of the Kingsland Road, and round the corner from that, I went there. I did a couple of reviews from there. I was up in London. I was on my own, and there was some good stuff. I haven't really touched Mikella since. I've had a couple of Mikellas in boxes from Beer 52 early on last year. I think I've still got one in there, one of the stouts. But yeah, I haven't really looked into Mikella too much.
Fair enough. I don't believe any Mikella has ever touched my lips, so I'm quite keen. It's a brew pub as well. It's a brew pub, so they brew on site.
Time, but it's somewhere between. Again, probably because of the Scandinavian connection. They're sort of like the Omnipollo kind of. They're somewhere between Omnipollo and Lervig, that kind of area, and therefore that kind of price. But again, we know why the price is the price. They do some good stuff, some really funky stuff in that brew pub. That's worth a visit. That pub, that brew pub. I presume it will reopen. I don't know. There's no beer garden, I don't think so. That'll be later on in the year, but it is worth a visit. I do remember having some really funky, fruity stuff. Some really deep red, like red currant or cranberry or currant or something. But yeah.
No, it should be good. That is my hit list of things to do in the coming weeks and months. And then I'll see what else is on my hit list. I want to just probably, go offer some support after the Southampton Arms as well. I'm actually drawing up a list of places I want to go see.
The list in my head is massive. Like Southampton Arms, Pembury Tavern for 5 points.
Oh.
There's so many.
Yeah, absolutely. And, because I will be a freelancer by then, I will have a bit more luxury of my time and maybe get a bit more filming done, just reviewing. So things are going to be changing for Rasco and Disco. The live show, will we continue the live show when pubs start reopening? Initially, I think so. We'll see how it goes. We've got no real plans. We never really have any plans, sort of.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm going to finish this and move on to the American Brown, which I'm a little bit excited about, I've got to admit.
Okay. Good stuff.
One more. Now that is good. It is very good. It's got a bit more soury towards the end.
Okay.
But I don't dislike it. It's just delightful. It's not oppressive aggression I find with sours. Mark Savage, g'day, mate.
Hey, g'day, Mark.
I'll just wash my glass out. My Ealing glass. I've not seen anything to suggest Ealing will be happening. Yet the Ealing Beer Festival.
I thought that was cancelled. Did we see that was cancelled? We reported that, didn't we? Yeah, good day, Mark. I guess, Mark, you're not drinking anything being 11 o'clock in Australia in the morning. So if you are, good on you.
No. No, it's... I don't know. I reported that I didn't know. I reported the GBF was cancelled, but I didn't report on Ealing. Unless you know something I don't. I do have a laptop right by my feet. I could look.
My memory is like Swiss cheese colanders for the holes, but strolling out of work. Fair play, sir. Fair play. Time for a coffee and a sleep. That looks nice. That looks a very deep brown, Rasco, for a brown ale. That's quite deep.
It is. And in aroma, my God, that's got some kind of fresh yeasts going on. At least I think so. He says so. Kind of a gritty-ish flavour. What's it got in it? American classic brown reimaged. An old English style. The American brown sides neatly between bold hop forward IPA and rich roasted stouts. Yes, the roastiness is definitely coming through. Stouts and porters.
Yeah, well, it looks like a porter.
Mm.
It looks so dark. It's a porter rather than a brown ale.
Well, it says stouts and porters. So, forgoing a dry hop, instead opting for a neatly well-poured additional Simcoe. Oh. And the my eyes are going. I need glasses. William Meter and Sentinel allows for roasted and chocolate flavors to come through alongside the classic. Oh my God, my eyes really are going. Fancy and spicy citrus aromas of the hops. I'll tell you what, it is just beautiful to smell.
Yeah.
It's kind of got this Americano coffee thing going on in aroma. I'm going to dive in. All right. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man.
What are you getting? I mean, old man is a good enough descriptor, to be fair. In my book, it's like, oh, wow. But what are you getting? Is that the roasting that's coming through or what?
Yeah, mate, I was definitely right about that roasted aroma. It's coming very strong. It's like a black coffee.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Really. Fuck. Mate, this could be getting a Beer of the Year nomination. I'm not kidding either. Wow.
Okay. Cheers, Mark, for the love for the can wall, by the way. It's not a can wall. Actually, it's two stages. There's a bar. I say a bar, it's a cabinet, but those ones on top, and these are just on the table. But yeah, it's nice and colourful. Mark says, don't worry about the eyesight there, Rasco. He's at the unenviable stage where he has to have reading glasses while wearing contact lenses. And I've known the boy 36 years or thereabouts. And yeah, as an adult, he's always had contact lenses or glasses. His eyesight is terrible. So his eyesight is so bad, he's got both contact lenses and reading glasses.
Whoa. Whoa.
So yeah, to be fair, I mean, I've only got I've got terrible eyesight as well, so I've only got glasses. I've never done contact lenses.
Mate, this is highly drinkable, and it's only at 5.2%.
5.2. To be fair, sounds pretty good, mate. You've done a good descriptor there, to be honest.
Mate, ale's yeast keeps the beer clean, fresh, and moderate bitterness balance. Yeah, and the beer out. Yeah, there is a bit of bitterness into it. It's not too bitter, which kind of pulls back from being a Americano black. They could have called this the Americano black, if I'm honest. That would have been a cool name for it.
You see, American brown ales aren't necessarily like that much coffee in it. American browns are normally kind of maltier and nuttier rather than coffee. So they've taken, that's what I say, it looks like they've taken it further towards a porter. So if there's coffee in it, again, it's the malt bill. But that's an interesting. Hopefully, I'll be able to pick one up. I'm hoping. I was going to do it this weekend, but I might have to do it next week and wander back down Beer Asylum. I'm fairly certain they'll have a porter in. Maybe they'll have that one as well.
Yeah, I'm going to have a bit more, but I'm fairly confident this is getting a nomination.
Oh wow, good, huh? All right,
Yeah.
well, I've definitely got to check that out then. I mean, it does sound good. I saw it come out this week, so I didn't immediately jump into it. But
yeah, I kind of diverted to getting it when I saw it was announced in my local Freshfields. Wow. I mean, this may not last long.
to be fair, this is going down really nice, and it's got a much nuttier flavour as it goes down. I wouldn't say necessarily walnut, but it's a sort of nutty kind of vibe rather than a specific nut flavour. But it's still got that milk stout, chocolatey, slight amount of coffee on it as well. Just really nice. Just goes down really well.
Mm.
Quite sweet, quite like milk lactose sweetness. Still got that little bit of head on it. Look at that, still rocking around a glass. I'm still a De La Creme fan. I have to say, probably not as good as De La Creme, but still spot on from Mad Squirrel.
That's good. That's good. De La Creme. Thinking about that makes me think of the Green Dragon on the pubs, which I'm not sure is going to open because they don't have a beer garden, but they are a large pub. And they do have an outdoor space or outdoor storage area. Maybe they can convert that. I really hope they do. I'm quite fond of the place. And my thoughts are with them in this time. Clearly impressed, Rasco. Yes, I am, mate. I really am. This is Anspatch and Hob Day showing how good they are.
Well, you're impressed with pretty much everything that Anspatch and Hob Day does, really, aren't you? As am I. Have you ever had a bad Anspatch and Hob Day beer?
Yes, I have, actually.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, I don't mind saying this because I have nothing but a huge amount of respect for them. Their table beer, I really did not like.
But I imagine that wasn't a terrible beer. It's just the fact you didn't like it because it was only 2.6% or something. Was it because it was a bad beer, or because you just didn't particularly have any love for table beer, or because of the flavour or whatever?
I like the Colonel table beer, if I'm honest, and I think I honestly believe it to be a bad beer. I just didn't. I couldn't finish it. If I'm going to be brutally honest, I couldn't finish it. I didn't go very public. I've spoken about it. There are a couple of Anspatch beers which, I think were okay. It might have been a bit of a dip in form, but they're definitely showing what they've got here. And they're just making good on what they've got. In that brewery.
We've always shown a lot of love for Anspatch and Hob Day, right from when we first. And I think sometimes any brewery, because of all the amount of styles that are currently available, you're going to have one that's not quite your thing, or maybe didn't quite hit the mark, maybe. But I think overall, our love for Anspatch and Hob Day is fairly well documented.
Oh God, yeah. I've even thought about buying the merchandise, wearing the jumpers and God knows what, and having an Anspatch mug.
I tried the table beer purely because I never really saw it, but I didn't think it was my thing. I don't think I've ever tried the pale, or they did bring out quite a hoppy one as well. So I've never tried something that I don't like, but all the ones I have tried, and there is a fair amount, to be fair, we have given big love for. So, but I think that happens with every brewery. There's always something that I'm just going to not try that because I don't want to spend my money for something I'm probably not going to enjoy. But that happens with so many breweries, to be fair. If I had great resources, I would love to try every bit, but there's no need. There's no need when there's so much good choice about at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. Pomona Island have, convinced me sours can be good. I can enjoy sours. I've always had respect for sours, but just couldn't get on with them.
Yeah.
But for Pomona Island, 2 out of 2 so far in terms of sours. Pomona Island, if they keep doing what they're doing, they are getting a Brewery of the Year nomination.
Yeah, fair play.
And like I say, You know, in some ways, it's good that Anspach have done a beer which I really didn't like, because it shows that they do have an imperfection. You know, because they literally, you know, could have done anything, and I would have been, oh my, I've got to. But you know, they've you know produced some amazing beers, and they produced something I didn't like. So it kind of completes the full circle of my relationship with them. We can keep on going. Question for you, gents, from Mark Savage. Go for it. Hit us. So yeah, this is showing how amazingly good and what they're doing with the Croydon Brewery.
Yeah.
What's the state of the beer industry culture in the UK? Obviously, we all have huge pub fans, but even pre-COVID, pubs were on their arses. Closures. Yes, you're absolutely right, Mark. As of 3 months ago, since the crisis started, over 6,000 pubs had closed in the UK. I suspect that number is going up and probably going up by the week. But hang on, there's more to it. But breweries and micros, ones seem to be prolific. Is it just a shit habit? What do you mean? Sorry, mate.
Well, I think we're not quite going to know what the shift is going to be until everything's open again, because of this roadmap that we've been given. Apparently it's about data, not dates, but yet we've been given a bunch of dates to reopen. So April the 12th is pubs can open, but only outside. So a whole bunch of pubs, especially inner city and city centre pubs, won't be able to open because they won't have the outside space. A lot of high street pubs, they're just like a pub in a row of shops who don't have a beer garden, won't be able to open. So there's a lot of pubs that we don't know whether we'll be able to get through to the next opening, which I think is June or something.
June the 12th, off your head by noon.
Yeah. No, Mark, you're right. It is a changing pattern of consumption, but only up to now because of the regulations and the closures. There is a massive change in consumption of a lot of breweries have put stuff into cans. Some who have no cans or bottles, but a lot of breweries have been forced to go down the canning route, and so they've been able to survive just by sending out stuff in cans.
Yes.
Which is a good thing, because otherwise I wouldn't have been exposed to so many different breweries. It is the pubs that have suffered. The breweries have been in a difficult position because they don't want to be selling direct to the public necessarily, because it cuts off their market to the pubs. But they have to survive as well. So they've had to go direct to the public. They've had to have retail. They've had to, and a lot of the breweries that have been the most successful have opened web shops and sold direct. And people have had to go, well, and you know me, Mark, I'm pretty tight when it comes to money, but when it comes to beer, I've had to go, well, actually, I'm going to spend a £5 for getting beers down, and like some of it's gone up to 6, 7. I think the most I paid is £8 for a delivery, which when you look at it from a £5, it's only £3. It's nothing. But when I'm not getting that amount of money in, then I'll have to do that. But I mean, the best one has been, I think, a £5 from. I think it was a £5 from Drygate in Glasgow, and a £5 down from Dundee as well. Hey, Raggy, thanks for looking in, sir. Good on you. So who knows what's going to happen afterwards when pubs reopen, and will breweries still sell? Will I still be buying cans online? I've no idea. There we go, Raggy. That's the one I was saying about earlier. Raggy was doing plum porter earlier, Rasco, on his live beer. So we had plum porter, and he had the plum porter from St. Peter's.
Oh yeah.
And the one from Badger that doesn't say plum porter, but that's the one I had, Raggy, the first and last brewery up in Northumberland. Plum Belgian ale for you. I think still available, I believe, or available again now. But yeah, we'll just leave them there.
Mark, thank you for bringing up some very good, challenging questions. You just said, so if you were the PM Chancellor Minister for Pubs and Brewing, what would your vision for the industry be post-COVID? And Wags has said, I see more micro pubs in the future. And he also says, that's lovely. Well, okay, pre-COVID, after COVID, or whatever. You've got the only last week you've announced that there's going to be no real change. I mean, they've dropped taxes, or they've kept, and they're not really doing much. There's been no support for breweries during COVID whatsoever. So Disco's right that a lot of them breweries have got cannon lines in, or they've made sure. I mean, Anspach Hop Day, for example, only had their cannon line installed about 2-3 weeks before the lockdown hit. So they were very, very lucky, and they got their cans out there. I listened to an interview with Rooster Brewing only 2 weeks ago, and they were saying that during COVID, you know, the first lockdown, they threw away Roosters. They threw away £20,000 worth of stock of cask, and I'm just like, so if I was Chancellor of PM, what would I do? Right, you had a problem with pubs closing down before COVID. You've got an even bigger problem. You've got to give them some tax subsidies, but as you know, because you're a medical professional, Mark, you probably, and I know you're out in Oz, but maybe you know people out here, there is a problem with people abusing alcohol. Now, I would say you have to go more specialist for beer. Make British beer such a good product that everyone wants to buy it. None of this supermarket cheap shit. I know the big breweries I'm talking about. Make it so good that you want to drink it. But you don't want to drink it in large quantities. There you go. That's what I do. And then you won't get people binging and killing themselves on it. This is a bit idealistic here. But there you go. Drinking quality, not quantity. And you have to give pubs some tax incentive, and breweries some tax incentive. What's gone on with the SBR, I'm looking more into it, and the interview with Johnny Garrett done from Good Beer Hunting, he interviews Harvey's, and Harvey's was saying, look, we needed this reform because we're not making any money. And
yeah.
And okay, I agree that reform in the SBR had to happen. I'm not sure this was the right response. I don't know what the right response is. But
no, but I mean, also looking at ground level, I mean, I think the fact that all these breweries have found out they can do canning is probably only going to benefit them in the future, because if you've got a brewery and you've got a brewery tap room, you can not only have cask and keg available in your tap room, but you can have a fridge where you can have your canned versions of your main lines and your specials, and people can take that away. I think what will happen is the whole web shop and national delivery will go down, but it will still do the industry a world of good, because you can still collect from your local brewery. And that might still, hopefully, it will benefit the micro pubs as well, because the amount of cans available for beers available will go out to the micro pubs. And yeah, there are. I mean, there's micro pubs opening, micro bars opening. So
yeah,
yes, of course.
I think
questions, sir. We love questions on here. Hopefully, there's no wrong answers. Hopefully, we'll always answer.
I think what Wags said, that micro bars might be the future. Small little bars popping up here and there, doing some specialist beer of some sort, probably is the future, if I'm honest. Mark Savage again. Back in the day, it was all about draft, perhaps bottle. Where does it fit in the taste experience?
Good question.
Think
Good question.
bottle.
Very relevant. Very relevant.
I think bottle is going to become not extinct, but close to extinct. It is going to be about cans, and can really has developed to have really great taste, much better than bottle, and they're harder to break. So there's a economic factor there for you. Environmentally, I don't think it's particularly great. And I also heard in that Rooster interview that there's only so many cans you can get made. I mean, there's a whole backlog of cans being delivered to places.
Well, last month they were talking about there were several breweries we're struggling to get cans, and there were some breweries who'd stocked up exchanging cans, across the market. In terms of the taste experience, it's a very good point, because it is still all about cask. It's still all about draft beer, which is, I think, generally accepted to be the best dispense of most beers. Certainly your stouts, probably your IPAs as well. But the thing about certain beers is they do lend themselves better to cask, and there are some that are actually arguably better. I don't know. Our dippers are probably better. Like IPAs, double IPAs, triple IPAs, probably better in cans, because you have to keep them fresh, so it's easier to distribute. It's easier to get hold of. But then I haven't had that many like big IPAs in on draft. But bottles will still stay, because they're better for your big stouts, your Imperial stouts that you can age. A brown bottled Imperial stout, you can put it in a cupboard and come back to it the following year, won't change. You can have can conditioned beers, but I think bottle is probably better for those big stouts.
Yeah.
Sure, they're better on cask.
Wags has said, it's strange. Back when I worked in retail, cans were nearly extinct back in 2015, and canned stuff didn't taste as good. Nowadays, cans are kings. Weird now how it's changed. Yeah, it's true. The technology's actually changed a bit within cans.
Sorry, go on.
The technology's actually changed in cans. So they're developed to be much better than bottles are. So I remember reading about that in Roger Proltz's book, The IPA, which is a great read. So cans, it really is all about cans. Going back to what Mark said about draft, I don't know. I think, going back to where we were at the beginning of this chat, the Cask Beer channel, YouTube beer channel, is doing a whole thing on cask. I'm going to be watching it because I want to hear what the historical facts are on cask. I think cask was in trouble before COVID, and now it's going to be on its knees. I don't know what the future is for it. It might get a bit of a rebound because it is on its knees and people are going to flock and try and support it. But I've heard this from breweries' lips themselves. They're not producing cask at the moment because it would just be a financial loss. They're all going towards keg.
That's what camera's for. That's what camera's for, is to hit that dead cat bounce and get cask back out there afterwards. And I think it will still be fine, because that is the preferred medium compared to say keg, compared to say cans. It would be difficult to foresee, although there's pubs and bars that have got cans. It'd be difficult to foresee people like you and me and Maggie going into a pub and going, can I have a can of that? Because if you're in a pub, you're going to have a line, so you're going to have it on cask over can every time. That's a good question, actually, Mark. Widgets in cans. Now, this harks back to like me and Mark and you, Raz, going out early drinking days when the likes of John's in cans and stuff. And the answer is no. I don't think you get widgets in cans. What they do now now is Nitro. So they bung a load of nitrogen in the cans, and Siren are kind of the forerunners of this. Nitro's mostly stouts. I don't think it's mostly so. So that was Midnight Stack, a Nitro maple pancake stout, and it is such a phenomenon that when you get it, normally even with a can, you're pouring it on a 45-degree angle. With this, you just bung it straight in the can like that. As long as you've got the right glass, it fills up with glass, and you see it like a can of Guinness, and it just fizzles and settles. So yeah, that's replaced the widget almost, pretty much. I think is the night triple, and that's a really nice stout. To be fair,
Mark, I'm going to thank you for reminding me of widgets. I completely forgotten they existed. But yeah, it's pretty much on the mark, Disco. That was gorgeous.
I'm going to have another one here. I'm going to have this one. Talking about roosters, as you were. I think I did this on the stream a while back. First World Problems, salted caramel stout. Again, another supermarket beer. So that's another thing that cans are. You see them more in supermarkets now. This one was $2.50 a can because it was 4 for a tenner. Not my favourite. It's not the best, and I do like roosters, and they've got some good stuff. But because I got it out, I'm just going to crack it and do that. But it's not the best. It's not the best salted caramel stout in cans.
You did that only last week.
No, it wasn't last week. It was the week before that.
I'm going to crack open with this. When I went to the shop to buy this, I was with my daughter, and she said, "Look, it's you, Daddy."
Your daughter said it. It does look a little bit like you, Rasko. To be fair, I'm going to have a look at that on the proper artwork on the computer and see. Monochrome Craft, thanks for popping in again this week. Cheers, sir.
Monaco, mate. All the beers I've done, all from Fresh Fields. I'll recap it. I had a Pomona Island sour, really fecking good. And I've done American Brown from Anspach. I'm about to crack open the Baltic, the Imperial Baltic Porter from Anspach, all from Fresh Field, mate. Thank you for your help this week. You helped me out a bit. So, hi. Thank you, Monochrome Craft. Oh, yeah. There it is. There you go. I'm going to put that there.
Just right there. A good point again from we've got to be honest, I'm not overly keen on salted caramel. I wish we had more butterscotch beers, personally. Yes, Raggy, Rasko's got the Anspach and Hobday Baltic Core. I'm never sure about butterscotch beers because I always understand that butterscotch is a off-flavouring beer. So that's like the diacetyl flavour. And I've never had a beer that I can taste butterscotch or diacetyl, but butterscotch, and I'm thinking Angel Delight here, butterscotch stout would be amazing, I think. But as I understand that's an off-flavouring beer. Mark says, "Is that radioactive?" I think he means mine. That I don't know. No, that's just a caramel kind of hit. Our beers are fairly much the same colour there, Rasko. Looking on my phone, anyway.
Yes, I would concur. It pains me to concur with you, but yes, I would concur.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes we're right.
Oh God, what was I going to say? No, it's gone. Never mind. Anyway, to the beer.
Oh, I don't know. Suddenly, I mean, I've had 4 cans of that, and that's the 4th can. Suddenly, I get with caramel.
But no. Mark Waggy said it. Yes, I was saying I have had a butterscotch beer from Lincoln Green Brewing. Do butterscotch. It made my beer of the year list, not from last year, but the year before. It didn't win. It is awesome. It is a very good beer. I had it in the Green Dragon pub on one Sunday evening.
No, I've had,
It's great.
I like green. Obviously, up Raggy's Way in Lincolnshire, Nitro. Mark says on his phone, the head on my beer is green, and I don't think it is on yours, and it definitely isn't on mine.
It's not. It's not. There's a small reflection coming out of your phone, which is hitting the glass.
I can't see it myself, but
it's a reflection of my face.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes, it's quite cool, actually, and beautiful.
The vagaries of the internet. I've just got a little bit of stuff on the thing there. So.
Oh my God. Okay, I just had a sip of this. Aroma-wise, aroma is there, but I don't know. I couldn't place it. Oh my God. But I just had I'll get more on the taste in a second. Okay. Brewed in celebration of our 7th birthday of our first year of the production of Croydon. Hey.
The Imperial explain. I'm just going to nip out a second. Bear with me. You keep talking and do the explanation.
Yes. Our commitment to history and tradition of porters. Good on you. Developed by brewers in the Baltic states when trying to emulate export porters in the UK. Bottom fermentation, lager, yeast, and cold fermentation were used in places of warm ale fermentation. Aromas of chocolate, no, sorry, not getting that, and roasted coffee, no, not getting that, dominated the nose, along with notes of herbs and spice. Palates is smooth in chocolate, like a touch of sweetness balanced by gentle bitterness. No, aroma-wise, I don't get much. Taste-wise, I get a lot. Oh my God, humana, 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 humana. Hello, Andrew Wee. Yeah, there is a slight sweetness to this. There is perhaps a chocolatey thing going on. There is some coffeeness and some bitterness, coffee bitterness and chocolateness. The coffeeness is very subtle. My God, it's good. And Sebastian Hop Day might be getting 2 Beer of the Year nominations in one night. That is how good they have produced. The Baltic Porter. Wow, what a good celebration beer it is. Hey, Monocon Craft, you still there? What are you drinking, pal? Anyone who's on the show, what are you drinking? Hit me up. What are you drinking now? Mate, this is right up your street.
It does look good. Hopefully, if I can get some at Beer Asylum next week, I'll have a look at that one. I still want to do that chili chocolate stout from theirs. I don't know if they're going to get any of that in, but yeah, I will look out for that, my friend.
Mate, I would get in touch with Beer Asylum, ask them to put some aside for you of the American Brown and the Imperial Baltic Porter, because it looks like...
Andy, where... Oh, Lord, Andy, where... I've just seen Andy Weir's name pop up, so we have to sing that song.
Yes, indeed. Mark's on PG Tips. Wags has just had a glass of, I don't know, something else.
Of wine. Craft is on a burnt mill dipper. I've heard good things about that. I think that's the one.
You mentioned that last week as well, Monaco.
Yes, indeed. Here's a question for you. I've just suddenly occurred to me that it's Mrs. Raggy's birthday today, so I'm very pleased to see Raggy on our stream. I'm sure you're meant to be like celebrating with Mrs. Raggy, but thanks for popping in and joining us. To be fair, quick question for you, Raggy, and also Monaco Craft. To be fair, we just found out that we can now do more than 2 people on Instagram chats. So, Raggy, if you fancy popping on for a beer one Saturday night, do give us a shout, and also Rick there, Monaco Craft. If you fancy popping in for a virtual beer on the Instagram, give us a shout. I think we can get up to 4 people on. So I've just seen Instagram doing a rooms thing. So if you want to do that, obviously most welcome. Come and have a beer with us.
Yes, there's a button I've just noticed. It's
Oh, bless, Reggie, bless. You worn her out, sir.
oh, hang on. Sad body joint. Hey, Lucy, how you doing?
And cheers.
Yeah,
Cool,
I'm
Reggie,
up
yeah.
for that, lads.
Okay, to do that at some point next week or the week after, maybe, hopefully.
Yes.
Lovely here. And Lucy, thanks for popping in as well.
What are you drinking, Lucy? If you're drinking, well,
What you up to?
mate. Yeah, what are you up to? Right, this is a strange phenomenon. As I just said to our viewers while you disappeared, it's possible Handspatch and Hot Day are getting 2 Beer of the Year nominations in one night.
Oh, wow.
I'm not kidding either, mate.
Okay.
My God, oh, flip. I think I'm going back to Freshfields and buying these again just to make sure. Oh, that's...
Ray says he needs to do more Instagram reviews. I'm not sure you do. The ones you do at the moment, you just put the photos of the beers you've done and your links to your YouTube. I think you're doing pretty well on YouTube, to be fair. We need to do more YouTube. We're trying to work out how to do YouTube reviews. And I think what we need to do, Rasco, we need to maybe, if you don't mind, Raggy, follow Raggy's idea of just doing live reviews on YouTube. It seems to work for Raggy. Obviously, he's got the beer shed, a fantastic beer shed. Check out Raggy's beer reviews and his beer shed at the end of his garden. But he just doesn't mess about. He just does it live. Just do it live. You get everything then. You get all the chat, all the blah, 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 and all the beers, rather than worrying about, like, what everybody else does is, like, they do these neat little videos and then edit it and stuff like that. We haven't really got the editing thing, so we kind of need to, Raggy maybe do some live YouTube stuff.
No, you do that.
Okay.
I've got the edit capability. We'll find out more in the next month or so.
Okay. Well, we can do both. We can do both, Rasco. Just, you know what I mean?
Here's the thing, Disco. That very cool video you made, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Tell people about it.
I did.
Put it on. You didn't. You tell people about it, man.
I did. I mean, I put it on the Twitter. I didn't put it on the Instagram, to be fair. And do you know why? It's because of all the edits. The file is too big, and I can't work out how to upload it to the Instagram.
Don't upload it to Instagram. Just tell people where it is.
Well, what on the YouTube? Well, that's what I need to do. I need to do what Raggy does and put a photo of the beer on Instagram and say, go and watch it on the YouTube. So you're right.
Yes.
Raggy's right there. Like, we have a good beer community, and it's a sort of put it up and people eventually will watch it. So, yeah, we need to do that. We need to look into how to do that on the YouTube as well. Maybe I might do that this week. Maybe this week. Oh, do you know what? This week, Wednesday, is Paddy's Day, isn't it? So there's ultimate live stream possibilities on Wednesday. Raggy, you having a few Guinnesses on Wednesday for Paddy's Day, perhaps?
Just catch up on the review comments. Lucy, I'm totally slammed on red wine. Haha. Oh, Raggy's on red wine as well. Monochrome, brother. Possibly, guys. Just got to make sure I don't wake up.
I understand. We understand that. I understand that. Let's go, man. Also.
Yeah. And Waggy, you can't beat box sticking beer or Waggy Avenue on my eyes. Waggy again. Yeah, we have a good community. Yeah, well, you mentioned that. Oh, hang on. There's always a way. We're getting popular now. I'm having to catch up with the comments. Sorry, Lucy. Back to Lucy. I'm so boozy I can hardly see your faces. Well, hello. That might help this go out, which is
boozy.
which is a big shame. Send Head pats, please.
Head pats? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
On Paddy's night. Fair play. I'm thinking of maybe doing something in the afternoon. There's loads of things going to be happening on Wednesday. I'm going to do a couple of Guinnesses on Wednesday because the last pint I had last year was Paddy's night, and it was a pint of Guinness, and it was the weirdest St Patrick's Day I've ever had.
Yes.
I had one pint of Guinness in a Wetherspoons at 10:30 at night. It was empty. I was on my way across town. I was like, I'm going to stop in. And nobody really knew what was going on. All the other pubs closed, even though Guinness was closed at 10, So, Paddy's night, I'm going to have a Guinness. I'm going to have... Actually, I ordered an Irish stout in this week from a brewery called Neptune in Liverpool. And I've seen a lot of people do Neptune on the Twitter. But I got a coconut stout from them as well called On the Bounty. And I've got a couple of others. So I'll probably do their Irish stout on Wednesday as a review, or maybe as a live. Maybe, we'll see. But I'm definitely going to be doing some Guinness.
No, well, you don't have to do necessarily Guinness. You can do some stouts.
No, I do
some
have
Irish
to do Guinness.
stouts. Well,
no, the only reason I do the Guinness is because I love a connection. So the connection is this was the last pint I had in the last actual pint I had. So last week, the other day Monday, I did a beer that I had, the last pint of draft, the last cask beer I had, which Park Brewery over in Kingston. Their Isabella, which was an American brown ale, funnily enough, and I had it up the castle in Harrow, and that was the last pint of cask I had, and they brought it out in cans before Christmas, so I got some in, but I left it just because I love that kind of connection. And so I left it until the 8th of this month, which was a year for the day that I last had it. I didn't get around to it. So I think this weekend would have been the last pint I had of keg beer. Tom's Brewhouse from Crewe in Cheshire. I very nearly ordered it, but they didn't have the one I actually had. So I sort of ummed and ahed too much. So, yeah, I definitely have to have a pint of Guinness on Wednesday just because Paddy's Day, innit? And I love a connection. But, yeah, I'm going to have some other stouts. I might even do that Bounty, that coconut stout on Wednesday just because it's a stout. I've got plenty of stouts in the cupboard to try. But the one from Neptune is specifically, they say, a dry Irish stout. So I'm going to have a look at that and the difference in Guinness.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you some next week. I'll give you some historical facts on St. Paddy's as well. On St. Paddy himself as well. I'll do a bit. I've got some information on him already. I'll do a bit of research as well. Waggy says I've got some Irish stout from M&S. Ooh, for Wednesday. Give us a shout out. What have you got in M&S? You know, we're not anti-supermarket beer, but you know, I do like to see breweries and people get paid for their efforts.
Actually, there's an M&S in Pinner, so if I walk to Beer Asylum, I could have a little look around the corner, see what they got.
Wagscan. So, lads, it's nice for me to watch a review and chat. What's your number one beer to both of you?
Big question, my man, big question. And by the way, me and Vasco will never agree on this, so yeah, it has to be to both of us.
Yeah. But Wags, go into our archive. We got a Beer of the Year show. We do. If you go on our YouTube, you'll see it as well. Fuck, that I just thought about that. The YouTube hasn't been updated for our Beers of the Year. So if you go onto our YouTube, you'll find out our previous Beer of the Year. Yeah.
I'm gonna say because you shouldn't think about these things, Rasco. You should just say a beer, right? So I'm blatantly, obviously, gonna say Wild Beer Millionaire Salted Caramel Stout. Right now, we've already talked about salted caramel stout, and Raggy said it's not his favourite. So, and I'm sure Raggy's tried it. I hope anyway. So yeah, that on cask, that is one of the best beers in the world. We are big plum porter fans, and like Reggie did a plum porter show tonight on cask. Plum porter, we're big plum porter fans. I really hate that. What's the best? What's your favourite? Because they're all whatever. I did it on Twitter earlier. Somebody said, "What's your favourite beer?" I don't know. So somebody on Twitter said, "What's your favourite city to go drinking beer in?" And it's like, well, whatever city I'm in at the moment. So my favourite beer is whatever I've got in my glass at the minute. To be fair, because I'm drinking it and if I'm enjoying it, that's my favourite beer. You know. It is a killer question. Yeah, it's there's no right and wrong answer. That's the thing. It's whatever is yours. But go on, Masco, what's your favourite beer?
Well, here we go. So, kick back. The expert's about to kick in here, man. All right. If I had to choose, I mean, honestly, I might be choosing one of these two tonight. I'm not kidding. Particularly this American Brown. There's currently two beers which I will fight for from Anne's Fashion Hop Day. It's the Porter and it's the Smoked Brown. And the Smoked Brown I don't do often. I love the Smoked Brown. It introduced me to Anne's Fashion Hop Day. I'm going to do a video on the Smoked Brown. And you know what? The Reich beer, whatever you call it, another smoked beer. The rack beer from Anne's Fashion Hop Day, I will literally fight for to get. It's a difficult one, but you know what? The Porter is a safety drink for me from Anne's Fashion Hop Day. I disagree about Wild Beer Co. Millionaire. I like Millionaire. It is a safety drink to me. But you know, I don't think it's my favourite. I would choose the Porter over it any day of the week. And I know I will partially agree with what you say. It's whatever beer you got in your hand at the same time. But,
Yeah,
you know,
no,
there are certain.
It was just playing with you because it is a killer question. It is like just there is a wrong answer. Castlemaine 4X. No, well, no, yeah.
Off.
4X has got so many memories for me. When I was 16, buying because that was all we knew, and buying it in an off license in Feltham in southwest London because that's all we had the confidence to go and ask for. We had to ask for it, and it was like, but yeah, we just put it on the counter. It was like, yeah, and we had a great party in this Scout, I think, in Feltham on 4X. I mean, I don't know what it tastes like now. We had the equivalent 4X in Australia. Me and Mark, if Mark's still on the screen, whatever there. I don't think it was 4X, but it was it's 4X Gold. Yeah. Oh, big up, Lucy. Rest easy there. On the wine. Have a good sleep. Enjoy your Sunday.
Indeed. Take care, pal.
Like Foster's, that's much derided, but also forms the memories of many people from the early 90s. I wouldn't hate on it. I mean, if you'd said Carlin, then I'd be right with you there, Monogram Craft, because I don't understand how they get the cats to squat over the cans in the Carlin factory.
Mate, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you something. I can remember the last time I had Castlemaine 4X. It was Reading 99. I'm not kidding, man.
Oh,
I was at Reading. I was at Reading Festival 99.
In 99?
What? Sorry?
We'd only just taught you to drink in 99.
You never taught me nothing.
You were in the pub at 15 with us, you prick. Of course we taught you to drink.
D&B, love it. Crack out some tunes for us anytime, man. Could you do as a drum and bass theme tune, by the way, D&B vinyl? I'd love it if you could. Wags, before 2000, I couldn't drink 3 times a year max. Now, well, a bit more these days, eh? I think everyone's drinking a bit more these days, but but no, I remember it well because at Reading '99, it was my first live music experience, and I only drank 4 beers the whole festival, and I brought those cans. And because I was just in the offie, which was close to the festival, I brought them, and that's what I picked up and brought. And that's it. I have not had 4X since. There you go. It tastes brilliant, but that's more to I think the festival atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's almost like I say, like whatever you've got in your hand at the time, but I don't know whether that was any good at festivals in a plastic glass, but...
I made this was pre-plastic glass. this was the 90s.
Let me tell you, the best music festival for beers is probably, without doubt, Bearded Theory Festival in Derbyshire, because they have a Thornbridge bar, and I remember drinking Jaipur and a Thornbridge bar at Bearded Theory, one of the best music festivals drinking ever, just without doubt. And it wasn't just Jaipur, it was the whole range, Lord Marples. We had Jaipur X, the 10% Jaipur. And I rocked up there, and it was one of the first medium-sized music festivals I went to, because I never used to really go music. I'd never been Reading. And I rocked up there, and we went in the bar, and I'm like, Thornbridge, get in. It made the festival for me.
Yeah.
Best music festival for beer. Closely followed by Beautiful Days, because... you have, what are they, Barfield. It's not quite as good as Thornbridge, but I'd love to go to Thornbridge's music festival, actually, Peakender. I've heard good things about that.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, Raggy, to mention Derbyshire, but, mate, Thornbridge, mate, there's plenty of decent breweries in Nottingham to go to. I nearly went to a festival in Nottingham. In the park, we've got to go to Nottingham again. I was just chatting about Nottingham to John and Kev when we went to Nottingham that time, and that was before we was really into beer. But now there's so much good beer in Nottingham. My grandmother used to live in Nottingham, and my aunt still does. And again, before I was really into beer, I never really noticed it. But when me and John went to Nottingham, we spent the weekend. A, at the football, and B, in Hooters. Is Hooters still there in Nottingham? I mean, it's a terrible place, but it was good fun at the time. But yeah, now Nottingham, you got Neo Raptor, you got Blue Monkey, you got that pub on the canal that we always go to when we go to Mansfield. We always change in Nottingham and have a couple of pints there. So much good stuff. Yeah, Robin Hood Beer Festival at Trent Bridge. I am looking at that. I haven't checked out the dates yet, but that's definite possibility. Definite possibility. So much good stuff. Who knows what's going to happen at that end of the year?
Well, this is the thing. So you got that We Are Beer Company who do the London Craft Beer Festival, Edinburgh, Bristol, blah 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 blah, and they're opening a music festival. And they're promising great beer at this festival. So I think this is going to change the dynamic of music festivals to having great beer, because I tell you what, Reading Festival, 99 was a flipping brilliant, probably my best Reading, but I only had 4 beers the whole time because no one saw me. All of my friends I went with didn't see me because I was just music. And so I think this is going to be interesting dynamic. I think really great beer and really great music. So there you go. I think this is going to be a big game changer. But like you're saying, it's slowly but surely is filtering through. That festival you mentioned, the Jaipur, the Opinions, the Beer O'Clock Show, whatever you want to call it, have spoken about that quite a bit. They went there and they did a bit of coverage. I want to go there. I want to go there. I'm not keen to do festivals and camping in tents and getting drunk, but yeah, I want to go there. Let's go there. That'll be on the 2022 list.
Yeah, definitely, because there's so much coming up this year. Yeah, Reg, you're not worried. We'll look into that October. I mean, like we were saying about
October,
no idea what's going to go on at that end of the year. We'll definitely get some beer festivals, and obviously you've got to meet up with everybody that's doing the beer reviews on Instagram and YouTube and stuff.
Yeah. If you could travel to London, that would make it easier for us.
No, Raggy don't want to come to London. I said on his stream the other day, we will look after you. Raggy, you come to London, we'll look after you. We'll show you around. If I can, I'll meet you at King's Cross, St Pancras, obviously, if you come from Nottingham. Obviously, Craig, Kent Beer Reviews, we'll look after you if you come London, but you do have to, again, pick your time. But it's the same for us in Nottingham. I don't know Nottingham well enough. I haven't been there for a while. We've only ever passed through Nottingham, but it's the same with any city. If you go to a city, you don't always know where the best places to go and stuff. But now, it's like Reggie says, all the beer community, you will know somebody, and somebody will at least give you some advice, you know?
Absolutely. Can't wait to get in the pubs. Hello, Chewy Does Craft. Hello. Nice to meet you. Chewy Does Craft.
Yeah,
Craig,
thanks very much.
You know what? Craig is a top lad. He gave us a big shout out last night, and I appreciate that. So, big shout out to Craig, Kent Beer Review. He's got a lot of knowledge. Check out his YouTube channel, please, and just listen to what he's got to say, because he knows his stuff.
I forgot to. I didn't get around to Twitter. I saw on Twitter today. There's an article came out. It's one of these kind of. It wasn't BuzzFeed, but it's one of these BuzzFeed things out. Kind of. Internet articles. It was like the top 40 beer reviewers to look at, and Kent Beer Reviewers was on the list on this like random, and it came from. Do you know Rod J Beer Adventures, the American guy that's often on Craig's stream? So he was like number 38 or something, and Craig was like number 40, and it was amazing. I was just scrolling down this list, and I'm like, oh, there's Craig. So he's made like an internet list of beer reviewers to look at, and quite rightly so, because of the Friday Madness.
Absolutely. He's a top guy. It's amazing. I've never met the guy in person. I don't know if you have, Wags, but it's amazing what kind of relationship you feel. He's been quite supportive of us, and I consider the guy a friend, even though I never met him. How weird is that? For me, live stream nights is one of the best reviews out there. There you go. On a Friday night, a slice of life or pub life on YouTube. We've been on it. It was a cracking ball. It felt like being in a pub, but we weren't. Oh man, there you go.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's why we do this kind of Saturday night live on Instagram. It's just like you and me being in a pub in your local or my local, just randomly chatting about beer, the industry, what we're drinking and stuff like that. But I don't see too many people doing it on a Saturday night. I think maybe everybody gives up on Saturday night a little bit. Like Friday night is the big beer night. Saturday night is just like a gentle chat kind of thing.
Yeah, I've met no beer reviewers, but I want to this year. But there you go.
It'll happen, isn't
it? The only beer person we've met online is Brad Evans. We bumped into him at a festival, literally. I went up to him and said, Brad Evans, I just finished your second book. And he turned around to me and said, wait, is it by finished? Do you mean you've been to every pub on it?
It was funny because you nudged me and went, that's Brad Evans. And I went, who? Well, I know the name, but I'm like, I wouldn't recognise him at that point, even though I'd actually met him before. I didn't realise, but that was a great shout out. That was like beer royalty at that point, wasn't
it? It pretty much was, man. And we had you had a better chat with him because I was like, wow, he actually exists. He's here. Yeah. Um, but yeah, we had a good chat with him. I hope to meet with Brad and one day bump into Johnny again,
Yeah.
or on the beer trail. But there you go. Well, mate, so much for a short show.
Yeah, we did happen to say that we're like 3 beers in, but that's how it works. You know, I mean, you can't mug it off like that. It's like if people join in the chat and we, as Raggy always says, he's so like pleased that people come in and say hello and stuff, and we are as well. It's just like two guys on a Saturday night on Instagram, and people pop in and join. So thank you very much. And there's also if anybody's, I know a few people looking afterwards, and obviously often Craig looks in afterwards and Jake looks in afterwards. But yeah, that's a Saturday night at a pub, and that's what it should be. And we don't even know, like, how's it going to go, like, next month when people do go back to the pub? Are there going to be people that aren't because they can't, or they haven't got the pubs to go to? Are we still going to be doing this? Who knows? Who knows?
Well,
But
I think
we'll still get on YouTube and stuff, so we'll see what happens, mate.
I think initially in April, it will be like how it was over the summertime when pubs reopened. As if everything goes to plan, I think more people will venture out. The big question: will this whole streaming culture die out? I don't think it's going to die out completely, but it will reduce.
I think
we will see.
I think it will shift, Rasco, because, like, obviously, like a lot of people who've got onto the beer reviewing thing in the last year. I mean, we was doing it from before, from 2018, but we was doing it. We was going out to pubs and meeting up and stuff like that. So maybe we'll go back to doing that.
No, like I said, I think it will reduce, but it won't die out. I think the monkey is out of the box.
Well, I think the virtual community will be big for a while because I think we'll find new ways of doing it. I think it will reduce slightly because people will be going back out. But like I say, if you're going back out and I'm not, we can still do a live. If you're at a pub and you're allowed to be there after, like, we'll just do like a 10 o'clock maybe on a Saturday. If you do a live from a pub, you can on your Wi-Fi or on your mobile data or whatever. And I'm not, we can still do it. We can still do this chat, you know?
This is what I mean. I think you are going to see more people streaming in live locations. I think it's going to change. This whole virtual thing, it's not actually new. I mean, people were doing this in the 90s in chat rooms. And people were saying, I don't want to go out. I feel better if I stay in a virtual chat room. This is just an evolutionary step. I mean, COVID has forced us to take that. I am very curious to see how things change in society. I think we will go back out. I think as human beings, we need the contact. And as pub lovers, we know we've got to get out there to support our locals. But there you go. I'm hoping to do live stream reviews from pubs, and most I can afford pubs every night. That's a good idea.
So I think, I mean, like, if you've got a stream, if you can do something on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, like, if you can do that from home, because you can still talk about the beers you're drinking, you can still get beers in, supermarket stuff. But if you can do a live on a Friday and Saturday night, if you're either at your local, and also what I think will happen now maybe is there'll be a lot more collabs. So if I'm in a pub on a Friday or Saturday night, and I can ping on either YouTube or Instagram from my phone and say, I can speak to Craig from Kent Beer Reviews and he's in his local in Kent, or I can speak to Raggy in Nottingham or something like that. You can do a lot more collabs, you know?
Exactly.
So and that will sort of, it will grow and develop and change as we need to in the situation we've got. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
You got an excellent point there. There was something I wanted to talk to you about. The Art and Craft near me has said, why don't you just stream from within our venue? and that's something I want to talk about. You know, I'm going to just say this to you. I'm going to hint this to you. Well, we won't mention it, plan it on this show.
Yeah,
or maybe we should. I'm going to call this Project TFI.
TFI? Go on.
That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
All I'm going to say, I have been thinking about this for a few weeks, months actually, about Project TFI, of doing a live stream in a pub. And mate, I'm just going to say, I want you to go on YouTube, and I want you to rewatch an episode. Thank you, Monica and Craft. I want you to go rewatch an episode of The Big Breakfast or TFI Friday. And you know what? That's what we're going to do.
Okay, yeah, no, absolutely. But we also have to get the other content around that, the other kind of games and things like that. Just quickly there, saying, Reggie, for me, I like to do triple review, local, craft, and traditional beers. Yeah, mixing it up, absolutely, breaks it up. Just yeah, because there's so much more in a beer industry than just IPAs and just stouts and just sours and just whatever. So
yeah, I'm just going to pop to the toilet. I'm going to keep talking before I drop the headphones. So you keep talking.
Yeah,
it's your turn to talk.
I think that's definitely because me and Rasco are opposite sides of London. And although London's not that big, it is also quite away. So me and Rasco are like 15 miles away from each other. So if Rasco's in Art and Craft when we're allowed to go back there, and he's doing a live stream from there, or actually I can always just travel over. I've been in Art and Craft plenty times drinking with Rasco, so we could do it from there. To be fair, and I think the owners of Art and Craft are kind of quite amenable to that kind of thing. But we could do it. That Rasco's in Art and Craft. I'm in my local here, like either Beer Asylum or Hop and Vine. I haven't got that many over here, to be fair, and not that close. It's a bit of a walk. But yeah, that's something that could happen. And again, once we're eventually allowed back out and once it's safe to go back out, it's definitely a thing we could do. Just comparing the venues and seeing what they've got on. And it's definitely something we're looking into, so we would love that. And also, Rick, if you're in Art and Craft as well, you could do one with Radko and I'll be over here, or we could do one over there. We should also see what the appetite is for that. Because we don't know what the appetite is, like post-lockdown, where people want to still see people like us, like, chatting beer waffle in our locals and travelling about the place. I mean, we assume there is because it's been a thing before, like we're Craft Beer Channel doing it. There's still that sort of thing post lockdown, and also from beer festivals. Like we were doing videos at beer festivals, 2018. And you can still do that, maybe live streams. Raggy, thanks very much for your time, sir. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for all your questions and your beers. Let us know maybe if you want to pop in on our stream at some point, if we can do the whole room things. That would be amazing. All the best, Raggy. Have a good week. We'll see you next week, no doubt, and we'll see you on your live review.
I work in Croydon, but I live in Dorking. So that would be a long Uber ride. Yes, it would be.
I mean, depends on late trains and stuff like that. Dorking Brewery is another one I think we have to check out at some point if we can. I've been aware of their stuff as well.
But
yeah,
dude,
it's post-lockdown possibilities. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Indeed. Dude, we've almost been running for 2 hours.
I know. Hey, Sarah, thanks for popping in. Good to see you. And I'm one fan.
Indeed. Indeed.
If not, Sarah's number one fan.
Lucy was also about. She's our potential.
She's another number one fan, yeah. Well, what we're saying is we don't know what's going to happen, like post-lockdown and stuff, when we get about. basically it's suck it and see, like it was in lockdown. We've just had to go with it, see what happens, see who's on, and stuff like that. So, yeah,
So
who knows? Who
I,
knows?
I want you. I'm going to just say I'm going to code name it Project TFI. So
Okay, yeah.
there you go, mate. And we'll be in touch. I'm not going to talk about too much about it on the live stream. I know we tend to do a lot of our project meetings on the live stream.
It's all different
But
ideas, isn't it? It's like an idea, like flow. See what we can do.
yes, so yeah, I'm just gonna say Project Life TFI. Look it up. This is what we're gonna do. Hello, what's Surrey Hill Brew located? Monaco.
Yeah.
Surrey Hills Brewery is located at Derby's Yard,
Vineyard,
which
yeah.
is
Surrey Hills was the year at GBBF 2019, wasn't it? I queued up for that.
you know one thing I just don't like about Instagram streaming. When you look back at it, the comments don't pop up.
No, true.
So yeah, and that kind of pisses me off a bit.
Yeah. So you have to keep reading them out and making sure whoever watches it back afterwards knows what's going on.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's where you do probably better, because I think you do. I'm certainly on reggae streams. You watch it back and you can see, and he's interacting with all the comments.
Yeah. So hi sir. Yeah, hey, here's a bit of TFI knowledge. Huey Morgan, my fashion guru, started. I think he had his first presenting job on TFI, because when Chris Evans jacked overnight and just went off, they had to find in some replacement presenters, and Huey Morgan was one of them.
Oh wow, okay. That would be a good quiz round. Like, there must have been maybe 10 presenters of. No, not TFI. Sorry, I'm thinking of Big Breakfast. There must have been loads of presenters of Big Breakfast. So, what? Hugh Morgan presented TFI Friday, not Big Breakfast.
Yeah, he did. TFI Friday. He did the first one after Chris Evans jacked, after he had a nervous breakdown.
Okay, I didn't realise that was from TFI, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. So there you go. I was rewatching every episode of TFI over Christmas. I'm going to restart, and mate, and I was rewatching episodes of Big Breakfast, which are a bit harder to find, if I'm honest, on YouTube.
Yeah, that house was up for sale recently. The Big Breakfast house.
Yes, I did tell you about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew somebody did, but it's down by the Olympic Park in Stratford, isn't it? It's like on the canal. It's like an old lockkeeper's cottage.
Not to repeat what we've said on the show before, but we did say there's only two.
Show nobody remembers the previous shows.
Oh right, yes, it went for just under £5 million. It is literally next door to the West Ham Stadium, the Olympic Park. God knows what it looked like in the 90s. There was a mysterious fire that happened there towards the end of the Big Breakfast, when Channel 4 were trying to get rid of it, or the production company trying to get rid of it. And so it's seen a lot of change, that area. Johnny Wagner recently revisited the house on a YouTube video, and this was an addition to try and sell the house. And he said the house hadn't changed much. I looked at some photos and I felt the house had changed a lot much, but I've never stepped foot there. I tell you, one place I am actually going to visit is that house. I won't deny when I think of ideas for what we do, I tend to reference the Big Breakfast. I tend to reference TFI. I am going to visit that house, take a picture of me outside it with a beer can. If you want to join me, feel free.
Well, I think I know where it is. I think I used to walk past it, probably within sight of it, when I used to play football up at Hackney Marshes, and I think it was just across just up the canal. And I never even realised. But yeah, I'd love to go and have a look. To be fair, because I think you can get in. It's like a public footpath across the canal, so it would be interesting to have a look.
Yes, there is. Looking on the maps, there is a public footpath, and you
Yeah.
can have a quick look at it. But the owners have built the hedges up.
Yeah.
Have built the hedges up. So this sounds very stalkerish, online stalkerish.
No, talking of stalkerish, that is a great question from Sarah. Has Chris Evans replied yet from last week?
I can confirm that Chris Evans has not replied to my desperate plea for ideas for our show.
From the ideas, like what happens when you can't think of any ideas? I don't think that question was even relevant because I don't think he was ever stuck for ideas. He just had the head that ideas flowed out of him. So yeah, I'm not surprised he never replied.
To be fair, from what I can gather, it was him and Will, that guy Will. He's a producer by trade, who formed.
Will Diamond or Dominic Diamond. No,
Dominic Diamond was the guy who did Games Master. Will, he was always in the background. He was considered the sidekick, but he was a producer on The Big Breakfast. He went off and did Don't Forget Your Toothbrush on a Saturday, and then him and Chris went and did TFI on a Friday night. When they did TFI, they were on a mission. I mean, the first few episodes of TFI, the first few seconds of TFI, they openly criticised Top of the Pops, saying this is the heart of music, this is where music is at. And they maintained that. They then get chopped down a little bit because of Ewan McGregor, a young Ewan McGregor, looking a bit off his head, if I'm honest, swearing. And you got to remember the show was on at broadcast at 6 p.m. And then you've got what's his face from the Happy Mondays, not Bears, the singer, saying, "Oh, I won't swear," and then moments later swearing. Then he's on the show 6 weeks later, and he's blatantly off his head, and he's mingling on the crowd in the way he shouldn't be. So the show got captured the 90s well. I've looked at some of the videos of music events there. Some of them are good, some of them not, but all of them capture the era. That is Shaun Ryder. That's it. It's Shaun Ryder. Yeah. All of them capture the era of the raw energy that was the 90s. I would love to have a T-shirt saying the 90s. That's where music was. I'm not kidding either. Music's great where it is now, but it was a lot better then, and you're never going to convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
Sorry. Good luck. I mean, people argue to me the 60s and 70s were great. No, I can see that. 90s were a lot better.
It's half 12. I've got to nip out again because it's just like us being in the pub. I've got to nip out for a wee every other pint. But are we going to have another beer? Have you got another beer?
I can go get one.
Well, do you want another one? Do you want to carry on chatting or what?
I mean, all I'm going to do is talk about 90s nostalgia now.
All right. Well, that sounds like just a minute round, isn't it? You've got just a minute to talk about 90s nostalgia whilst I nip out for a piss and get another bit. We've got to do that again, by the way. We've got to do another just a minute round.
Well, I don't want to because I've won, so therefore I am champion.
No, you've got to uphold. You might win again.
No. I'm quite happy as it is.
Listen, I played it on Monday night music quiz the other day. We talk about a minute for various music music rounds. It went down a storm, so it was a really great idea. So we got to come up. Oh, the other one we should do. I'll tell you the other one. I come up with a great idea the other day. Like when we used to do pub quizzes back in the day, last year, a couple of pubs we did play your cards right. You'd have like put 50p in and be like play your cards right. I don't know how we do it. I need to get a big like play your cards right rack behind. We should higher and lower and all that. We should work it out.
Yes, right. Let's workshop that out.
That'd be funny. And play your cards right. All right.
So what? You going to the toilet, or are you getting a beer, or what? Or
well, I'm going to the loo. But if I get a beer on the way back, we're going to obviously carry on chatting. What you want to do?
Well, if you get a beer, I'll get a beer.
This has always been our problem. We always basically just goad each other into getting another beer. I mean, that's not a problem.
It has been for 20 years.
Okay, so you have 1 minute, talk about 90s music whilst I grab a beer.
Okay, off I go. Well, here's the flaw with me talking about 90s music. I don't have any beer. All right, beer in the 90s was not as good as it is now. I mean, you would have to search. Craft beer wasn't even a term back then. You would have some really good ales. You would. But in terms of music, I mean, I don't think there's another decade that captures the raw diversity. And you might note that I said diversity there, because, I mean, the 90s literally did it all. It did. I mean, you're talking about rock. You got Nirvana. You got Soundgarden from the Seattle grunge scene. You got the metal thing, which kind of was a late 80s thing, but spread into the 90s. The Guns N' Roses, they did a legendary performance in Wembley. Queen died, sadly, in the 90s, and they were pretty damn dominant in anything they touched, really. They were that kind of phenomenon. And then you moved on, you had your pop culture shite, and I've got to admit, the pop culture was better back then than it is now. But it pretty much is the same, take a picture of Rosie, take a picture of me, look how vain I am. You had the phenomenon, which was the Spice Girls, okay, fine. But you just had this potency to just be what you are. You had a real hip-hop and rap revolutionary. Which again came from the 80s, from the NWA, and when you had Dr. Dre and Snoop Doggy Dogg, Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls, and then
You serious?
I'm going for this, man. And then you got the techno stuff. You got the techno stuff which originated from Germany and Holland, coming over here and flourishing. Drum and bass in your face. Jungle is massive. Boyaka. Jungle is massive. Come on, man. The 90s as a decade of how diverse. No, it's not just that diverse, but the rawness. I mean, things arguably, from a technical perspective, music is better now. But the raw energy from all of these genres, it just isn't there.
So is the 90s to music what the last 2 years have been to craft beer? So there was a lot of experimental stuff, a lot of new stuff, a lot of change.
My God, that is one hell of an analogy which I didn't think of. Yes.
No, I didn't just come up with it, to be honest. Now you're saying about Jungle is massive and stuff like that, and Tupac and
yes, because the 90s, because it was such a raw decade of so many genres. Yes, absolutely, great one. There you go. I agree with you.
Oh, shit. That's almost the second time in the same stream that we've agreed with each other.
Yes. There you go. There you go.
I just realised I thought I was popping out for beer, but I'd actually already bought another beer. I was actually going to bought another one of this one because we was talking about it earlier, so I'm going to do it.
Oh, yeah. Short show today. We've gone over 2 hours. This is going to be our longest show ever.
I've just opened me fourth beer, mate, so... And it's a Nitro pour, so straight in, mate, straight in.
Can I go get my beer?
Yeah, go on. Whilst we wait for the Nitro to settle, so...
Yeah.
There you are, mate.
In fact, if I was to brew a beer, I might call it 90s.
90s beer. Okay.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to keep my earphones in so I can keep talking.
Oh, here's a good
talking.
90s music is the marshmallow peanut butter porter of today. I would say, yeah, to a point. It's also thicker and thicker of today, really, because I've got this new coming out. But yeah, definitely. I only just thought of that analogy, and I don't know if it's groundbreaking. I don't know if anybody else has ever thought of it, but yeah, it's new, experimental, different. Let's go. You falling down the stairs. There we go. Lesson.
No, mate,
right,
no, mate, no, I haven't. I'm back.
Area. You're good.
Right. I wasn't going to drink this, but I am. Here we go. It's from Brew York, and it's called Empress. Oh, fuck me, it's 10.6%. Empress Tonko.
Oh, Tonko
Imperial. Yes. I'm kidding. What do I know? So, yes, I did hear what you were saying.
Yeah, the modern cups have just gone to the fridge as well, so we've got to stay in for the drink now. So cheers, man.
I just went to the fridge. All right, Monaco, I'm staying as long as you are, man. I'm going to do this, and this will be it, because I don't really like shows to go on this long. But hey, they are tonight.
You do know what you're talking about, Sarah, to be fair. You're not kidding. That is absolutely a fair point.
Yes.
Right, so this one, I'm not sure about this one, right? Glasgow. It's available in Sainsbury's. Midnight Stack, right? Nitro Maple Pancake Stout. It's 4.2%, which is kind of odd for a Nitro, I suppose. It pours nice and thick and smooth, but it's got this kind of odd watery bit on the back. But the maple is amazing. The chocolate is great. I can see the pancake. It's probably a session stout at the end of the day, especially at 4.2%. So I've mugged you off a little bit if what you've got is 10%. But it's Brew York, so we know it's going to be decent.
Aroma White.
Yeah, go on. What have you got? Yeah, go on. Tell us about it.
Aroma wise, it's very sweet, and it's almost got a peanut texture to it. It's great. You know what I like about Brew York? They give you all this data, and they even give you a graph.
Or somebody describe it as a spider's web on the back of the can, and it is like that. It's like the spider's web of like sweetness to bitterness to stuff like that. It's doing that, but Brew York have got that sewn up. It does look good for the notes.
You know, they got a conut rating here, and it's got 4 conuts. I love it. I won't kid. You know, for beer enthusiasts / geeks, this is fantastic stuff. It's even better. It's better than the Anspach stuff. Info they give you. Although I love what the Anspach have put in their cans, this is even better because it's just visually engaging. I mean, you don't even have to read it. You just have to look at the graph. Hops, Columbus. It's clearly putting. It's like looking at an Excel spreadsheet. I'm not kidding. It's fucking great.
Well, Well, go off. What did you go to
pale.
the fridge? What did you get from the fridge just now? You said you went to the fridge for another one. Maybe we was influencing you, convincing you, whatever. Welcome along. What did you get? Go on, sorry, Rascal.
Influencing you, convincing you. Influencing you,
Convincing
convincing you.
was the
That's a
word I
good
meant.
name.
So I hate that word,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Influencing and convincing. That's a good name for a beer. There you go.
Convincing.
Actually, getting back on the subject of the 90s. In the 90s, we used to talk about what would be a good song track or a good album track. You know what? Well, now we're talking about what's a good beer name track. What's a good brewery name? There you go.
There's so much possibilities.
Malts, pale and flake barley, light crystal, dark crystal, chocolates, carried and roasted barley. And what are they saying? We've gone the full Spinal Tap, Empress Tonoko. Everything is dialed up to 11 with over triple the original level of coconut, kanku, and tonko and vanilla, creating a creamy and decent assault on the senses. Dangerously easily drinking, but a cocoa warming 10.6%. You might want to pace your journey into the bountiful heavens. Oh God, yes, that's what I want to hear after what I've been drinking this evening. But
I think I might be wrong, but I think that's the beer that Simon put with Cadbury's cream eggs in a blender this week to make Imperial Cadbury's cream egg stout. I think that was used. I mean, I didn't agree with all that. It made no sense whatsoever, but it was just mental. But just to have a Cadbury's cream egg and a stout. But I think that was the one he used.
Okay, Monaco, I have a Hazy Jane from Brewdog as a fallback option if I don't want to go too crazy, so I can. Right, fair enough.
Fair play. Again, we're going to disagree because if I don't want to go crazy, I won't drink Hazy Jane from Brewdog. Just not my thing. Just you've had Hazy Jane, haven't you? I just won't touch it.
No.
It is. I'm sure you've had Hazy Jane somewhere.
No, not had Hazy Jane. I can tell you that much for sure. What is it? I don't even know what it is. Dark, light, what?
It's literally a hazy pale ale, isn't it? I think Hazy Jane grapefruit, isn't it?
But there you go. There you go. Please tell me what a Hazy Jane is. I've not had it. I'm going to say that much.
I think you have, Rascal.
No, never. I can tell you the only only beers of Brewdog I've actually put on a review thing are Elvis Juice and Punk. That's it. I've had.
I know it's a pale. It's a 5% New England pale ale, which is why I won't touch it. I've seen various with descriptions of it, but yeah, it's a pale. So.
Right. So this is good. This is very good. But if I'm honest, this actually elevates the Anspach Baltic Porter and the American Brown to a higher level.
Yeah.
It actually because it's a bit too. The tastes are all very nice, but they're all fighting amongst each other. There is no harmony in this drink compared to what I previously had. It's a great drink. Don't get me wrong. It's a great drink.
Yeah.
But it ain't beer of the year stuff. You can literally the sweetness and the bitterness, the sharpness, they're all fighting amongst each other, and sometimes that can be good. In this case, it's not working for it. So I'm very happy to drink this. I'm glad I've got it. But man, those two shadows in the background have overcast it. Monaco.
Thank you, Monaco Craft. It says it's New England IPAs, Hazy Jane. Not much grapefruit, that's Elvis juice. Yeah, I won't touch Elvis juice either because it's too much grapefruit. I don't know. New England IPAs, I always say not my thing. I will try some of them, but I just get grapefruit. I just get Citra and grapefruit off of New England's. So, and Brewdog are the masters of that. I do hold my hat to that. I don't generally touch Brewdog's IPAs, Pale Ales, New England's, anything like that. Less than £2 a can, that's the key. Not for me. I'd pay £2 a can not to drink Brewdog's Hazy Jane and Elvis juice. I always say I understand why people like them. Just not for me. As you can see, me holding up a stout. I've done 4 stouts tonight. Yeah, no, £2 a can is lovely. I would love that. I mean, this was $3.50 in Sainsbury's. I'd rather go with that, to be honest. I paid the extra $1.50, but yeah, no, fair play. I don't deride anybody for drinking Brewdog or Elvis juice and Hazy Jane, particularly because I don't like them. But yeah, fair play. I always say, like, it's like Reggie was saying earlier, a big community is like all good because what you're drinking is what you. As he said earlier, Reggie said, "What's your best beer?" It's like, well, whatever the one is in my hand. If that's a pale ale or an IPA, it's all good. If you don't like it, don't drink it again. So I do deride Brewdog. I always have. Brewdog stouts, to be fair. Brewdogs, I won't deride Brewdog stouts. They're all pretty good.
No.
It's just because IPA is not my thing. Not IPA. New England's are not my thing. Some IPAs are good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Look, we've covered this many times. I mean, look, Brewdog produce good beer. They do. But their PR mechanism, which is deliberately set up to piss you off, or
I don't think they do it deliberately, but they do happen to a lot, yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. It's deliberately set up to piss you off. So therefore, you talk about them. So therefore, you buy. And look, great, well done. There you go. Actually, there is a bit of news on them. Johnny Garrett this week tweeted at them because apparently there's been a complaint about them being not fair in how they employ people and whatnot. And
there was a big in America, I think it was Indiana or Indianapolis.
Yeah.
They'd sacked 4 people. Wrongly, by the looks of it. They claimed it was due to performance, but there was a lot of LGBTQ issues, and I don't know whether they've resolved it yet, but they're looking into it. Brewdog got a Masters of pretty much nothing. Okay, wasn't expecting that. They have allowed others to come along and better them, though. Yeah, no, fair enough. Like Rasco says, I agree that they are the masters of marketing and banging out big beers, and I can understand why people like what they've done. I mean, in the early days, I always derided it for being overhopped, overpriced, and over here. But again, I love their stouts. Their layer cake, pretty good. That
layer cake's good.
With Evil Twin was amazing. I even like Jet Black Heart. It's just a straight nitro stout. Was fantastic. I love seeing it. I've been to gig venues in London, like going to 100 Club and seeing Jet Black Heart. Fantastic. But they replaced Jet Black Heart. I'm not sure they still do that. But yeah, their stouts are brilliant because they're huge. But yeah, it's a fair point. They're not masters of anything. I think they're masters of marketing. They're masters of overhopped. I don't want to say Merc, it's not Merc, but yeah, they're masters of hoppy beers. Yeah. But again, they're as much loved as they're derided, to be fair. I do think they have a place in promoting craft, like Canberra did with Real Ale. Brewdog were at the forefront of their game 2012, 2013, 2014, so they have their place. Yep. They have their place, to be fair.
Absolutely, and they do. It's just like I say. No, if you remember back in October, we did a show on media beer. We called it media beer, and it was mostly just about Brewdog and had a promotion of that silly. Oh, I'm sorry, it was that really high percentage beer, which was sent out in a big box, and it was a small bottle like that, and it was a promotional device. And okay, you have to promote, you have to do.
That did have
What?
its place in beer history, though, because of the ABV. So I can see why they did it, and then why they did it like that.
Yeah.
I had some in the basket. I nearly bought some, but at 27 quid, I had to draw back.
Yeah.
I'd love to have tried it.
I'd love to have tried it. I was never going to pay for it.
No, I mean,
that was my.
I mean, I was thinking about it. I'm like, just for if I get that first video out. I mean, we're small fry in terms of getting videos out. We was doing videos then, but you know, like, well, Jake had some.
Look, Jake had some. Pint Size had some. Simon had some. The Craft Beer Channel did a review, and they don't do reviews. Look, I think we took the best approach by talking about media beer, because that's what it was. And this is my thing about Brewdog. They are this is what. Look, they've succeeded. They've done it again without us realizing. We are talking about Brewdog without even drinking their beer.
True.
Come on.
It's true. So I think you have to respect their place in. I think you have to respect their place in craft beer. You know, you have to.
Yes.
They are there.
Number 3 agreement of the evening. Flipping heck.
The only thing we have to do is let's have another beer.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, we just agreed there again.
Fuck me, 4. But there you go. So look, I don't want to talk about Brewdog anymore. No. Unless it's because we talk about the taste of the drink. Talk about the taste of the drink. I don't want to talk about the media hype campaign. Fair enough. I know who it's run by, a former YouTuber TV presenter called Sarah Warmer. Fair play to her. She actually did some good beer reviews, to be fair. But yeah. How does your beer taste, Monaco? Is it good? This beer here, more I drink it, the less I like it, but I still respect it. It's good. Like I was saying previously, it is shadowed by the beers up there. It's got too much bite on it, not a pleasant bite.
Well, that's the thing. When you get 10%, it's like you got that balance between the alcohol bite and the smoothness of the beer. Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't balanced out as alcohol bite, unless you like that, of course.
It depends on the beer. There's some that work like that really well.
Yeah. It isn't very smooth. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah.
I forgot to recommend Mad Yank to Wags. Fuck. Yes.
Yeah. I don't think Raggy's ever going to get Mad Yank because distance, price, blah, blah, blah. But if he ever sees it up there, absolutely recommend.
Mate, you know what? I'm going to message him to keep an eye on that brewery because they're friends of ours now.
Yeah,
and you know what? They're really good at what they do.
Recommend it to plenty of people. So, but yeah, no, I don't think that will come across Swaggy's radar being up there yet. But it's the sort of thing I'd send him a beer. I'd send him that, like if we did bottle shares or whatever. Sarah, they also make hand sanitizer, which Brewdog did do hand sanitizer, didn't they? So fair play to them for that.
They did, yeah. They made a lot of loud noise about it as well. That's what I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah.
What I'm going to say. Let's say no, but a whole Brewdog thing. No, I mean a Mad Yank thing. Sorry. Oh shit. See, that's what they do to you. That's what they fucking do. Mad Yank. No, I think Mad Yank will deliver to Nottingham. But yeah, actually, if you want to hook Wags up with Mad Yank, I want to push Mad Yank as much out as possible, simply because I think they are that special and that good. They changed my perspective on beer. Share. What's Monaco saying? Oh. Yeah,
nice. Stuff. You can get 24 of those for 26 quid. So, well, that's a good price. To be fair, it's nice to go to that. You can reach. It's nice to go for a bit you can reach for without having to make any fuss. Yeah. No, I still just. Yeah, I just would. I would. 2 quid, I would be happy, even though I'm skint, I would be happy to pay more than 2 quid for something that ain't brewed up. But yeah, if you're happy with that and you can drink it, I have no problem with that. I'm never going to mug you off for that, but just saying, it wouldn't be for me. You know, I don't actually have at the moment. I don't have go-to beers. That's my problem. I have beers that I want to do reviews for, and I don't have enough just go-to beers that I can just reach in and have a quick pint. So most of the ones I've done today, apart from Della Whip, I've done on the review anyway on Instagram as a post. So next week, at some point, I'll do Della Whip as a post on Instagram and Twitter. So I often buy in pairs, so I can do one on the review tonight and one on as a post. But I do struggle. I don't have that many. All my go-to beers are kind of fairly market beers and probably more real ales. Like my go-to beers have been like Tanglefoot, and I just picked it up keeping Sainsbury's, like, you know. And
keep talking.
My other go-to. When Sainsbury's was open, Rise the finally was here, and if I go down a big Sainsbury's, it would be Atlantic from Sharps. I quite like that as a go-to beer. I haven't got enough go-to beers in, really. Like when we first started, I thought it was going to be like your breakfast stouts, like Sirens breakfast stout, or like 71 Brewing breakfast toast was going to be for a while. It was going to be my go-to. And also, I've said it before, Wild Beers Millionaire, I thought it was going to be my go-to kind of beers. I've spread out so much and found so many other kind of just sort of go-to beers. It's like I don't ever have a go-to beer in because I'm either doing it for the review and I might get one there, but as soon as I've drunk it, it's gone. I haven't got any more. This is possibly a go-to. It's good enough drink as a stout. Cheapish at $3.50 down Sainsbury's. So there's so much options and availability. Yeah, Millionaire both teams there. Yeah. You back, Vasco?
Right. I'm still here. Yes. Hello. Do you need me to talk about the 90s a bit more?
90s? I don't remember the 90s. I was almost there.
That proves you were there, because you don't remember it.
Exactly. So, what you got for next week, Rasco? What's the plan next week?
Well, I have a kind of. Hang on, you came up with the plan just an hour ago.
Oh yeah, that's my plan. Well, you can join it as well, and we'll see how that goes.
Yes.
But,
There you go. We're gonna. Well, yeah, we're gonna do something Stout related, aren't we?
yeah. So when's your leaving party? Are we doing like an online leaving party for you going?
Beginning of Easter weekend.
When's that? I don't know when Easter is. I don't celebrate Easter. It's an over commercialisation of a religious ideology. I don't agree with.
God. Blah 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 blah.
Give me dates.
Yes, it's. We can do that on April 3rd.
Oh shit!
And
Hold on a second. I just got a notification that I'm going to have to do some electronic business. I've got to plug the phone in. I'm down on battery.
yes.
So if basically
Well,
if I disappear, it's because like my battery's died. I had it on charge earlier, but I didn't plug it in because of the back of the stand. So hopefully it's charging now.
I was going to say maybe we should end the show or not. I don't know.
Well, we are 2.5 hours in, so like I think we've done.
Yes.
We've done a good body of work tonight, and you've still got to save it up yet. So,
we've done.
Stout.
Yeah, I mean, we've done well for a show. We said it's going to be a short one tonight. Really.
I think what's made it is everybody popping in and saying hello again. Sarah, Monica, and Craft. Great chat to Raggy. Mark in Australia coming up with some amazingly good questions that we didn't even think of, to be fair.
Right.
And also, hopefully, everybody else is popping in who have a look at it after the event. If you're still watching, thank you very much. Good beer to you.
Let's face it, we did the news, we did the lineup for LBF Dublin Craft Beer Festival. We did a bit more news on the Harp. We've done, a debate on where beer is and where it's going, where live streaming is, what we're going to do in the future. Two nominations for Beer of the Year, and one nomination for Brewery of the Year. Brewdog. Marketing beer,
and
media
we also
beer.
slagged off Brewdog. Yay!
You slagged off Brewdog. I want to invite to the brewery. I want to interview those chaps. So you slagged them off. So invite me. Leave him behind.
Yeah, Brewdog. If you want to come and do it, if you want to come on our channel and do an interview, best of luck to you. But we'll have you on.
I think it's more of a fact I will probably have to go up there to them.
No, because we can do the 3-screen thing, the 4-screen thing now. We've just, like we said, we're having Maggie on. We can all be on the screen. Because I saw, I saw one the other day with IPA Adventures, and there was 4 of them on there, and it was all working.
Yeah.
So we have to try that. We have to get some people on.
You do know Martin Dickey was, the creator of Jaipur.
Yeah. But at Thornbridge, I forget the names, but I know that everybody knows each other from various things in craft beer, doesn't it?
Yeah. Before he went to Brewdog and created Brewdog, or co-created Brewdog with the other guy, James. James. I forget his second name.
We're all on first name terms now, Rasco. Just James, that'll do.
Yeah, James. He was a brewer beforehand, and he's kind of like the brains behind the whole brewing thing. James is kind of the businessman, marketing man.
Was he the one that was a pilot? One of them was a pilot as well, or something.
No, one of them, that's James. He's a qualified sea captain, and he's also a qualified lawyer.
Oh, well, there you go. Double bubble.
There you go. I fucking hate this. We're talking about Brewdog towards the end of the show.
Well, listen, we
Because
don't disrespect them. They've done what they've done. They've built up an empire. I was going to say business, but empire. They built up an empire. They built up a business. Fair play. If we could do that, we'd be in that situation as well. But I ain't got the acumen for that. But, that's just how it goes. You know
yes. But I want you to go do your homework now. I want you to start looking at big breakfast shows and TFI shows. This is Project TFI underway, mate.
Mate, I've got enough writing with Tuesday pub quiz business thing going on. I've got to look at other homework. But yeah, I'll have a look into it. We'll work on that.
Yes. Because we're going to make that happen.
Yeah.
And on that note, I don't know what else to fucking say.
I think beer... to say we've had a good night, we've had a good couple of hours chats. Like we were in the pub, we've had some good beers, you've had some great beers, you've had some possible beer of the year contenders. I've had some possible beer of the year contenders, I think. Adela Whip is pretty good. I think, I need to see a lot more about Mad Squirrel this year. They could get a beer of the year nomination this year, I think. Look at the head on that. It's Nitro, isn't it? But it stays. But we've done well. We've had a good chat. Let's see if we can do some live stuff during the week. Let's see if we can do another good show.
I'll be honest with you, mate. Impossible this week for me. If you want to do something on a Wednesday, invite someone on the show, whatever, do it. Either on Instagram, YouTube, I don't care, whatever. Do it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Do it. But you know what? Don't be shy. Promote it. Promote. Sell. See,
that's my problem. I'm shy. Do you know what I mean? In case it's shit, I don't want to be shit on the internet.
Okay, I'll sell it for you.
We should think.
I don't know what else. I'm pissed now. I'm pissed. You know, at some point in the show, I was telling a health worker, Mark, it's about drinking quality, not quantity. Yeah, I'm at that limit now. I'm at my quantity limit.
Well, I'm chilled, so let's call it a night there. Just, we've had a good night. We've had a good few beers. That's a great chats, great interactions. Thank you, everybody, for popping on and chatting. And if you're watching this after the event, thank you very much for looking in.
You'll be tagged in the show. You'll be tagged.
Yeah. Let's call it there because we've got a lot of tags to put in the show, by the way.
Oh, hang on. What's that? Piers Morgan
is shit on the internet all the time. Yeah. Well, I don't think he's on the internet so much anymore because he stormed off. I did do that gig earlier. I actually stormed off because Rasco started talking about Megan and Harry, and I stormed off. But just for shits and giggles. But yeah, I don't really want to be associated with Piers Morgan, to be honest.
We really don't want to be associated with Megan and Harry because it's just not what we do,
Yeah, well, I mean, we're presenting Rasco. We're presenters now.
We are TFI. TFI.
If the most controversial thing we say as presenters is I don't like Brewdog, then I think we're okay.
Oh God, we can do better.
Yeah, we can slag Brewdog off more. I'm joking, Brewdog. Sorry, don't sue me. I don't need money. Right, that's a good time to call it. Monaco Car, thank you very much for dropping in and having a beer with us. It's made a good Saturday night, to be fair. Thank you, everybody else, for dropping in, having a beer with us, and also if you're looking in afterwards, thank you very much. I don't even know if we have the like button and all that shit. I don't know.
I'm just going to do this. I don't think we can get a photo from the archive, so I'm going to do this. Off we go. Bye-bye. Believe enough to lose control.
Whoa.